All right. And we are live. Welcome, Blue Box fans. Thanks everybody for being here today. I know it's been a crazy several weeks. We're back together in person for the first time in months on Blue Box. And let me turn down our intro music just a bit here and make sure everything sounds good. I think everything looks like all cameras are up. I think this one can actually lift just a touch. Solomon, did you get taller over the break?
I guess I must have.
Yeah, I think you did. Well, now hold on. We can't cut off that poof of hair either, so we got to make sure we get all that poofy hair up. There we go. Got it. And that should work on all views. And all right. So, hey, Angelix, good to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us. I am excited about the stream today. We've got a lot of very cool announcements to make. But before we get started, I want to make sure the audio sounds good. So, can everybody hear us okay? Let's just do a quick around the screen mic check. And we won't even do player intros yet. Okay. I want to make sure we get everybody else on. But let's just do like a, quick, give you your first name. All right, we'll start with you.
I'm Evelyn.
I'm Seraphim.
Jordan.
Jennifer.
All right, John. Yeah, it looks good. I saw everything pop up there, so we should be fine on stream. Hey, Pat66, good to see you. Put a buck on him to make him look taller. All right, so we're going to start off with a couple of announcements today, and we're going to get right into the action. One, thank you again to all of our sponsors. I got an update on the final mini that we're getting from Atris Miniatures this week. Oh my goodness. It is incredible. He's put over 30 hours already into this model. And he's probably halfway done. I don't know. He's a savant, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Atris. We're all using these very cool Dragon Crafting Guild trays today. So you can hold those up, and I can fix my DM screen, which is upside down. DM screen by Dragon Crafting Guild. Dice trays, I'm sorry, would you show that again real quickly, Evelyn? Dice trays by Dragon Crafting Guild. Everybody, amazing. We're going to have another giveaway on those here pretty quickly. And we appreciate that. We've got lots of other friends. Renan Asuncio continues to stream model building for us, and he is really, really talented. You're going to like the stuff that he's producing. And then, of course, the big news here on Blue Box is all the stuff we're doing with Greyhawk and our partnership, or I won't say partnership, but our collaboration with Lord Gasumba. And Jay is an incredible member of the Greyhawk community. And we'll just do a quick bit of trivia here for everyone. Oh, hey, Greyhawk Mike. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Mic check. All sounds good, I think. So what is Greyhawk, Jordan?
The original D&D world.
Okay, and what does original D&D world mean?
It was created by Gary Gygax.
All right, Gary Gygax, and who? Did anyone know who his partner was?
Seraphim Sherman.
It was not just me. So it was Dave Arneson, and they started all of this stuff. Back in the early '70s. It was called Chainmail at the time, before it ever became D&D. And their first game world, which was really originally a strategy sort of wargaming world, was Greyhawk. And then it became the initial world for D&D. These are statues I did not want to use. And so it's a really incredible world because it's been built for 40-something years now. And you have all of this rich lore and history, and that's what we're going to be building the new Blue Box campaign off of. And so just the last couple announcements I'll make. These guys are that's probably not true, Greyhawk Mike, but I appreciate it. Blackmore was from Big. That's exactly right. And so, hello, Beluga Toucher. Good to see you back again today. I have not touched any belugas this week, but I'm glad you're here to do so for us. And so we actually have two really exciting dates coming up. So the first is going to be Saturday, June 6th. On Saturday, June 6th at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, we're going to have the very first Greyhawk stream with Jay of Lord Gasumba fame. And it'll be an introductory campaign to our Greyhawk group. And it's going to be on a Saturday night, have all the new players, and Jay is actually going to run through as the DM. So it'll be the only time he runs as the DM. I'll be a player in that part of the campaign that night. Then the second date, and you'll want to mark both these on your calendar, will be June 9th, Tuesday, June 9th. And that'll be the first stream of our new Greyhawk campaign. That'll be at 5 o'clock Central, so 6 o'clock Eastern. We'll go to about 7:30 or so, maybe a little closer to 8 Central Time. You can add an hour to that for Eastern, of course, I think 5 hours for your GMT times. And the last thing I'll mention, you're watching today, you'll be the first ones to get the exciting news that we will be giving away. Now, lots of folks have giveaways. They do mini giveaways, they do mugs, we do shirts, you know, that kind of stuff, sweatshirts. We're gonna be giving away on Tuesday, June 9th, an original classic 1983 box set of the World of Greyhawk. This is very hard to find, very valuable, and we'll be talking more about this in the coming days, but we're gonna have a big blowout to launch our new Greyhawk campaign. Hey, Shono Mac, good to see you, sir. I know you've been busy lately and lots of stuff going on in life, but we're glad to have you. All right, let's get to the campaign today. And yes, we do trays and minis also. All right, so let's start out with what happened last time. And since I did such a long intro, let's really try to keep it short today.
All right. We found out stuff about Cade from Captain Blackbeard that he was also kind of lying about, so he got called out. They confronted
Ixen
each other in the
threatened
street. Yeah, Ixen. Cade then confronted frightened Blackbeard off with a illusion. He ran away. Cade chased. Irda chased. The Ixen and Solomon went to the blacksmith. Irda ended up, well, Cade almost killed Blackbeard. Irda healed him and then charmed him and told him to do good things and sent him along his merry way.
That is indeed what happened, yes.
And then after that we found out where Cade's stuff was. He sold his horse, stole his gold and hid it somewhere in Center Point, and had his dagger on him. So Cade has his dagger back now, at least.
I kept that hidden for a long time.
And then we did a few shopping-related things relative to some things we needed to take care of, weapons, armor, that sort of stuff. And then after the break last week, we walked down to the docks. Met Ameko there. Ameko had a ship for Cade.
Huzzah!
Big ship.
What was that ship for, Cade? Why'd you get that ship?
Arr.
Said the camera's out of focus. Do we need to focus it?
Yeah, I think mine, I forgot to do that, yeah, so mine probably needs to be focused just a bit.
Because I stuffed the kitty
Other way?
cat's head and gave it to Ameko.
And she sold
Right
it to
there,
a
good.
wizard.
Hey, thank you so
or
much.
Some magic user.
Person
Some wandering
really wanted
person.
this kitty
Yeah.
cat.
And spent a lot of money on it because Cade's ship only cost a quarter of the amount that she
That's
made.
what she said. And Ixen was somewhat suspicious
Yeah.
of this mage and his intent. So that was an interesting kind of a note. So then after that, what happened?
Cade named the ship Ameko's Revenge. And
Shaved Blackbeard, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was our thing.
Huzzah!
Captain No Beard.
I'm trying to keep it.
Captain No Beard.
And then we went back to the Sharpened Spoon to gather our things and to speak to the man about the or one of the guards about the fort. And then once we got all that wrapped up, we got on the ship to go to Sandpoint first, and then we will be continuing on to the fort with help from an elven ranger named, I can't remember what her name is right now.
Shalelu.
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 Yes.
I remember that.
All right, good. Anybody else have anything else you'd like to add to the last session? Anything we missed? Any highlights? I did like the moment when Solomon really challenged Ixen on sort of the party's best interest and...
He keeps doing things that seem...
I am hoping that Jimmy old cook is a good cook.
All right, the
Yeah.
old man.
You do have the old man cook who is going to be providing victuals on the ship.
And Sully's first meet.
And Silly is your first mate. So
right.
I think before we go ahead and do our introductions of our players and get started, hey Redbeard, good to see you, sir. If all the camera feeds are fuzzy, I'm gonna guess that might be on your side, Pat66, because we got multiple cameras. Everything should be good. If anyone else can confirm that, you just refreshed.
It's they're not sharp. They're pretty fuzzy looking on here.
It just cleared. No, he said it cleared.
Oh,
Okay,
then
good.
it's
All right.
On mine.
Yeah, I double checked bandwidth. I checked bit rate. I checked everything today, so it should be fine. All right. So let's do a quick around the room and give us your player name, your class, your race, and just a bit about what your player is all about. Let's start with you.
I am Irda Leganril. I am a level 8 Asimar Skald, and my entire focus is two things. One, finding the rest of my missing siblings who have been missing since we were small children. And two, trying to keep these party members from killing each other themselves.
Which might seem that it would not be that difficult, but in fact has been, yes.
So yes.
I am Baron Solomon Frost, and I was recently frozen, as indicated by my last name. I'm about loyalty and keeping them from not dying.
I'm Ixendatrix. I'm a level 8 alchemist, and I'm destructive.
Fair description. All right, and last but not least.
Huzzah! I'm Captain K. Not in air quotes anymore. I am a real Captain K.
So, Cade, what was it like for you? We give our viewers a little behind the scenes. What was it like for you to have a session where you go from being unmasked as a charlatan, never actually having been a captain, to then,
Were you Ellen?
oh, hey, C. Carson, thank you so much for the sub, sir. And you got to move that alert box up. So to go from being a charlatan, exposed in front of all, to being gifted this glorious ship which you have named Amako's Revenge. What was that like for you as a player?
Well, I've been doing my very best with this group of people to stay alive. And I always thought of myself as a captain. So I just fulfilled my destiny. I spoke it into the universe and it came to me. So I always believed, and my belief came true. So believe in yourself, people. Believe.
So, Cade Cardinal, a message and an example of one who has believed in himself and made it happen. All right, let's go ahead and
drink rum. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me kill the ambient music. You're going to be starting off in the town of Sandpoint, where you may recall at the end of the last session, you saw something pretty cool, which was, of course, this. So you are now in Sandpoint. You've walked through the town square, and you've gotten to the central area.
You're very rugged looking.
As you're looking, as you're looking at the statue.
I look drunk.
Perfectly drawn, right?
Like how you have a bottle in your hand.
Yeah.
As you're looking at the statue, you see there are people milling around, and suddenly some of the townsfolk, look, it's them! It's the heroes! Oh, they're Solomon! And you see, all of a sudden people start bustling around you. The crowd grows much, much larger as you're looking at it.
I've missed this.
Huzzah, the good people of Sandpoint.
Katie, you're gonna start flicking silver to them like normal?
No, we've already paid our dues.
I go up to my statue and I show Ray himself. I say, "What do you think?"
So you walk up to the statue, and let me bring the local view up here on the battle cam. And so you walk up to the statue, and it's elevated a bit on top of a platform. And so Ray looks up. You see he quirks his head, and he looks down at you. He seems confused. He doesn't know what's going on.
I kind of like, you're up there. Go look.
He lofts off your shoulder. He flies up, and he kind of hovers in front of the part of the statue where he sits on your shoulder. He looks very uncertain. You see, he takes one of the little arrows out of his tiny quiver that you've given him, and he kind of pokes at it, almost like a cat looking at itself in the mirror, right? He kind of pokes at it for a second, and then he stops and he puffs up, and he lands and he goes to the other shoulder, and you see he poses.
Yes, mighty Ray.
I see you've returned. You hear the voice of Sheriff Hemlock. He comes walking through the crowd. You see him there, familiar face. I trust you have been well. How did things go for you in Magnamar?
Well,
That's a
Very interesting.
well, we learned quite a bit about some very seriously crazy things that were going on as part of what was happening here as well.
very tangled web.
The same type of murders were actually taking place there, and there were a lot of people involved.
My mistake again. So what's happening? I'll explain when we get back online.
Your
We're
buttons.
online. Yeah, what's happening is, sorry, viewers, I've been running the same 5 buttons on the second row of this Elgato Stream Deck I have here for 2 months, and now we're up on the top row of buttons. That's the difference between being all remote and being all local, and I keep hitting the wrong set of buttons. So,
The buttons.
nothing wrong with the stream, nothing wrong with Twitch, just flat out, yeah, button pushing again. The DM, who's the one-man band here with sounds and video and everything else, he doesn't always get everything right, so I apologize. All right, please resume.
Oh, yes. But yes, we found a lot of very strange things while we were in Magnamar, including the fact that this mysterious group, known as the Brothers of the Seven, they have rights to the property, the misgivings.
The Brothers of the Seven, what do you speak of? I have never heard this group.
They are a mysterious group. We have not learned everything we can about them yet. We are still trying to find more out.
They are 7, and they are brothers.
But they seem to be some sort of
Alright, thank you.
cult.
He shoots you a dirty look.
But they seem to be some sort of cult that is involved in these ritual murders. But we discovered some documents for the deed of the misgivings, and apparently after a certain number of years, the property actually reverts to these people that have part ownership, including the grounds around it. So they would be the most likely to benefit from things not going well in that particular area of Sandpoint.
He seems really confused. There are still people walking around. Little kids are tugging at your clothes, holding their hands out for coins. Cade,
Fine, I give 'em.
you have a crowd around you. All right, how much do you give out?
I just start handing out coffee. How many people?
Cade, the philanthropist.
I got to be ship. I have lots of extra gold now.
So Cade hands out all kinds of gold, so take out whatever amount that you give away.
I ain't handing out gold, copper.
Copper, okay. The crowd continues to gather. It's milling and buzzing. You see Alma comes walking up while Sheriff Hemlock is talking to you.
I brought you some bread. I have bread for you here. You look so hungry, especially you. You look quite gaunt. Here, eat some bread.
She hands you 2 loaves.
Take both.
Ray still continues to offer different poses atop the statue the whole time, just looking to see if anyone's watching him. So the sheriff looks at you. To what purpose would gifting the surrounding lands matter? And why 100-year lease? These things make no sense.
I am not sure. All I understand is that it seems that the murders and that land have something to do with each other. Perhaps there's some sort of special significance to it that we have not uncovered yet. But we have dealt with lots of strange things, shapeshifters and
Serpent.
So
Yes.
I just had a thought.
yes,
So the Misgivings is haunted.
right.
And the Seven, from what we've seen, they use like weird magics that control you. So what if, you know how the house would like attack us?
Mm-hmm.
So what if they used some of that magic on the house?
I mean, it's
And then they're going to take it back.
possible, perhaps to keep people away. They may have set sort of magic, I suppose. I do not know exactly how that would work, but it seems logical that that could be the case.
Okay. You hear a familiar voice come up to the crowd. Hello, hello! You see Mayor Devrin comes pushing her way through. She's there as well.
So what do you think of the statue we've had commissioned?
The statue is
Huzzah!
Does
cannot
it,
describe.
is it not?
Huzzah!
It has brought hope to our city after so many years.
Well, it should. It brings hope to me.
Amen, King.
After so many years of travail and turmoil, after all that happened with the late unpleasantness, and then after all that happened with the journey to the misgivings and the loss of our people, and it has been so sad here lately, and this has given our people hope. We are greatly thankful.
It's brought in great value here. Look at this in the city. It just brought it.
A beautiful statue and a beautiful city.
Everyone roll D20 for me and add your perception, please.
Alright.
Oh dear God.
18.
18, okay.
14.
14, okay.
10.
Wait, no, 21, my bad.
21, okay,
Yes.
okay.
24.
24.
Because I roll bad and my perception's bad.
All right, very good.
Dang it. I want to know something.
The sheriff looks over at the mayor. Mayor, it seems they have uncovered some very strange things and the plans of what was occurring with Alden Foxglove. They mentioned some group called the Brothers Seven. Have you ever heard of this group? And the mayor looks over, she shakes her head.
Of what does he speak?
There just seems to be some cult activities in Magnamar that are tied to the same murders that we were learning about here, looking into. And so they all are connected with these Thessalonian, the stars are carved onto all the bodies, and the Sahedrin runes, and it
That's as
somehow
we saw with Benny Harker, the
Yeah.
same horrible...
Yes.
yes, and it was on several of the victims in Magnamar as well, but we have not exactly discovered out who these seven brothers are, though we have found one of the people who was named, she had sent a letter to Alden Foxglove before his death. Her name was Lanisha.
Oh, Zanisha.
And she
Nasty.
was
I got rid of that
strange
woman.
You
serpent.
did what?
Splattered her on the ground.
You see the mayor, like, suddenly some of the children scatter.
She was a
She splattered her on the ground after I killed her.
She was an evil witch. lady.
she was half woman and half serpent.
Hideous.
Frightening.
This is her skin.
These are the things of children's tales. You speak the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
Aye, we do.
And this has what to do with our little town? I don't understand.
Well, we discovered a deed for the misgivings, the Foxglove property, in Alden Foxglove's townhouse in Magnamar. And apparently, in the original deeding of the house and the land surrounding, there was an agreement made that after 100 years, the property would go back to these brothers of the seven.
I don't understand. So, what is it you're doing now? Obviously, you've come to see the statue, and I'm glad you're pleased. But these words, they worry me.
Well,
We're heading to the
To Fort Rannick.
Fort
Fort
Rannick.
For what Rannick?
Yes.
For what reason?
There seems to be some.
It's halfway
Cultish
across
activities.
Malaysia.
Because we're heroes and that's what we do.
We were asked to investigate, so investigate we will.
That's right, Solomon.
We
There's also
we
a
have heard
hefty fee of
some,
money
some
involved, of course.
There was that, yeah.
There seems to be some strange activity going there. There has been no communication from that fort in weeks, as far as we understand.
And the last people they sent died.
Well, they have not returned. That's all we know.
So
Probably.
the last
Basically,
people
yeah,
they
but-
sent died.
So they have now asked us to investigate, and we think this might be related, possibly. But we also are here to find Kate's belongings because apparently
And we
some
wanted
Oh,
to
I
see how
gotta
the
head
town
there.
was.
were left behind.
Yep.
Yes.
So the
And Ameko has the best rum, so let's go. Magnum Mars.
hey, Captain Redbeard, thank you so
Yeah.
much, sir. Very much
Huzzah!
appreciated.
Huzzah!
One of our best fans, always appreciate seeing him. So the sheriff steps forward. It seems that we will continue to be in your debt. I don't understand how such things have come to affect a small town like ours, but we seem to have had an unnatural amount, a devilish amount of things which have plagued and besieged us these past many years. Perhaps you will be the ones that will bring an end not to what just has plagued our small town, but whatever is behind it.
We are at your service, sir.
I'm afraid, I think, no, it is we who are at your service now.
Huzzah, I'll take it.
The mayor says,
I don't expect you'll be staying long then, but whatever we can provide, our town has but humble supplies, as you know, but you are our most honored guests.
Irda, based on your earlier perception check, it catches your eye after a few seconds. You see a crowd of about 5 children that had been close by sprint off into an alley giggling. Something about it, just you notice it.
That makes me curious. I want to kind of step that way and see what's going on.
You step and you see they disappear between 2 buildings.
I step over to Kate and say, I think we could use, I whisper, I think we could use another statue.
Let's go. Not here. Maybe a painting.
Paint for the ship.
Yes.
I turn back to the group and I just kind of gesture.
Let Ixon blow
I
them.
gesture for them to follow me, and I continue down the alley. There's something odd going on.
All right, so the mayor, all
Mayor.
the people gathered around, they kind of look at you oddly. Who's walking over there with you to the alley?
I'll go with.
I'm going.
Oh,
All right.
curiosity killed.
All right, let me have each of the 3 of you roll perception checks again, please.
God, like
22.
12.
It'd be a 1.
All right, so as you're walking over, Solomon, as you're walking, something kind of catches at your arm. You look down, you see your pouch is open.
Oh no. I look for someone like running off from me.
There, you don't.
It's just open?
Well, yeah. So you're headed like toward an alley between 2 buildings. So as you're looking, like you see it kind of curves and goes back into other streets. You see no sign of the
Following.
small urchins.
I close my pouch. And
You see him
I
close
hold
his
it
pouch.
with
I grab.
Do I see his
I
pouch
should
open?
already be aware.
Yeah, you both you notice him kind of stop.
I look at
and
my pouch.
Your pouch and your pouch are all 3 of your pouches are open.
What? I should know I'm a pirate. And
the drinks.
I was given out.
Wait, what
You
did you
were.
see?
I think somebody robbed me.
Where'd they
There is
go?
a group of children that ran down this alley, and so
Oh.
I am following them.
Oh, I love the taste of some chili. So, and you see it.
It's why
take
Pat
off towards
60,
the alley.
Pat 66 said let Ixon blow them.
Oh, yes.
So yeah,
Not that kind of
I want
campaign,
to,
folks,
I want
no.
to search
They're
the ground.
robbing. I think that is an evil act. Justice must be served.
Oh no. Keep him under control.
I'm going to look at the ground and see if I can follow where their little footsteps went.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that's going to be so tough. Go ahead and roll the d20 and add your
Can't you turn into like a
investigation.
dog and smell the
I missed it. What he said.
Yeah.
I if you could turn into a dog.
What
I'll
about
turn into
Parlay?
something a little more
Parlay.
than a dog.
So perception again.
Can I talk to Parlay?
Yes, that will know.
27.
You
I don't know. Can I talk to
All
Parlay?
right, go ahead and use perception.
Does
21.
Parlay speak?
Or sorry, 27.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, so it is no taste of children. No.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So as you look, I mean,
No.
it is. Imagine trying to find, discrete footsteps in
What about Parlay?
cobblestone and
I drink.
you're in the middle of a town.
Right.
It's everywhere. Everything is.
I
There's
drink
no way.
beast shape too, and I turn into a dire wolf to use my scent to track the kids.
Okay, so you're still in the town. So I just like asking these questions every once in a while to make sure you're thinking through.
A dire wolf.
We've gone into the alley,
I
haven't
step
we?
into the alley.
You're in the alley, yes,
Okay. Well,
but I mean the alley is not like utterly hidden. There are
Right.
people walking.
Okay, I tell Solomon to stand in front of me.
Oh, see.
Oh wait.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Ragnar, when we murdered Omen Mons in the
Omen
street,
Who murdered Omen Mons?
Ixon, and you were turning
did?
into a
You did.
Shane O'Mac suggested covering them in horse poop and setting them on fire. Yes.
What does Parlay do?
At this point, Parlay eats seed and poops on your shoulder and occasionally flies around.
I need him to do more.
Have that conversation with him.
Parlay, do more.
On second thought, maybe turning into a dire wolf is not
So, what I can
the
do.
ideal.
What about a bloodhound?
How much money did they take from you, Solomon?
I check my bag.
All right.
man.
As you check your bag, you see that you're missing, because you count, you see him start doing a count. You've lost 4 pieces of gold, and you've lost 15 pieces of silver.
What about me?
I was gonna say the rest of us.
Your pouch was still sealed.
Oh wow.
You know what? I'm a pirate. I should have felt the children.
Yeah, but you were handling.
Yeah, and I was
it out.
handling it.
Right, so you were handling,
But
so your
you-
pouch was
they would've
open,
been
they were
hacked.
all around you,
Yeah.
and she's the only one that made the perception check. So she was kind of wary as they walked around, that's why she saw them.
Well, this
But
die sucks.
You lost 15 pieces of gold, and you lost
More than him?
one piece of silver. You lost 7 pieces of gold
Cade, which one of us
and
is scared
12
to
pieces
steal
of silver.
And how much silver did I lose? You went so
I
fast.
just turn
I
into
like
a
how in the
dog.
statue, Cade and I look
All right.
ready for adventure, and then Irda and Ixon are like elegant. They look like they're about to go to a ball.
I know they do.
Irda looks a little exasperated, which honestly, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I felt like it was so well caught.
She's
It
just
really
like-
was. You see, Ixon's got his scar. It's all there.
Captain Cade does look like he's ready for adventure.
All right, so you see Ixon quaffs a potion.
Oh no.
Before he,
Big dog, like a pit bull.
All of a
as
sudden,
he goes to like as I see him doing that, because I know something's.
Can we put a rope around his neck?
I'm actually at the.
yes, you can.
Okay, I'll put a rope around his neck.
I'm going to use. I'm just going to use my flare cantrip to just make it bright enough so it kind of hides what.
All
he's
right, so
doing.
Solomon had already said he was kind of standing to obfuscate in the alleyway just a bit.
Okay.
But Irda then, a little flash of lights. You hear some town. Oh, what's that? People start looking, but in that time you
I don't
see
want him running off.
he
Like
becomes a
riding
dog. Cade, you attempt to throw a rope around
Yes.
his neck. Let's go ahead and roll d20.
You want him running around the town?
Let's make this. Let's go ahead and make this a roll to hit with a melee. So you would add your melee bonus. Just add base attack plus dex. Just roll. I'll know what you got. Okay.
Oh my gosh, what's
okay.
wrong with it? Go find my die.
As soon as you see that, as soon as Ixon's form slumps to the ground. By the way, Ray is still on the statue posing. As soon as Ixon's form slumps to the ground, you see he kind of sprints down the alleyway. Cade, your rope kind of flops helplessly on the ground.
I'm going to chase after her.
All right, you guys kind of follow Ixon. Like you smell children everywhere. I mean, there's a cacophony of smells. You have nothing
I'm
to
tracking the ones that.
You have
that-
nothing to track
The
of.
footprints.
Yeah, but there's footprints everywhere. That's the point.
the alleyway?
It's called cobblestone. Yeah, these children run all through these alleys. So, I mean, I probably actually should have stopped you before you did it, but it's not bad that you did it. It's fine. But like intelligence, checks would tell you, or wisdom would tell you that to track, by scent, you need to have the original scent of what you're tracking.
Well,
So
you would just
by-
track the most recent scent of the footsteps. That's what like tracking dogs do.
Yeah, you can. So but when you come through that alleyway, you come back out onto the street. There's footsteps
I'm not
everywhere.
going to the street. I'm following the alleyway.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, maybe I wasn't clear. So you track along the alleyway. You can smell there's smells everywhere. It's a cacophony in your nose. Your nostrils are overwhelmed, but you do smell the freshest sort of scent. And you burst through the alleyway back out into the street, and this is the next street over, and it's
Can I
like
use the
the
scent
alley.
of what I.
They would have had to touch our bags.
Ah, yes. I go up to his bag.
Okay,
Would
all
that-
right. You go up to his bag. You sniff his bag. All right.
Sniff mine too.
I sniff all the bags.
All right, let's do okay, so I'm just going to tell you right now, this is so unlikely to work.
Roll a 20.
But I never want to just auto-defeat player efforts. So, you're going to smell a sack. Hold on, let me see. You're smelling a sack, which was briefly touched, a sack which has been touched many, many times. Looking for a unique scent, which you're going to try to match to a footprint, not the hand that touched that sack, and track it through a crowded street. So lest anyone look at me as an unfair DM should this fail, I just want to make sure everyone understands this is nigh unto the impossible. Yep. All right, the dog sniffs.
18.
Sniffs. You kind of move around. You see several of the townspeople. Oh, you're Solomon. You're the heroes of Sandpoint.
I am.
Oh, what a nice dog. One walks over, starts trying to pet him.
You don't want to pet him.
We're still training him.
You kind of move your
I growl
nose.
at it.
You
I
see.
growl at it. At whoever's
I
trying.
need the role play growl, please. Alright, you growl. The people just continue to pass by on the streets. It's the person jumps away. Oh, he's not very nice, is he?
Well, we're still training him. He's a new acquisition.
He's a real lad.
You kind of pull away. You see Ray comes wafting his way through the alley, and he looks around confused.
I would bark.
He kind of pulls back, and he goes over and he lands on Irda's shoulder.
Yes, it's your friend there. He will be not a dog again soon, I hope.
It was Darkweed, see Carson. Skunkweed. I don't know what you've been doing, my friend, but yeah, I'm sorry. It's impossible in a crowded town like this with all the traffic. Catching a footprint of a hand, you can't.
They really didn't take that much.
They didn't take that much. I say we go get rum.
Did you see what they look like? Oh, I can't talk. Never mind.
Yeah, you're still a dog.
Yeah, once he changes back, I can.
I say we go get rum. And I go to Captain No Beer's room.
I second that statement.
All right.
So you guys head back to the Rusty Dragon? Is that where you're headed?
Hey!
With our brand new dog.
All right, so you lead the dog. Ray kind of looking confused, standing on Irda's shoulder. You move your way through the streets again. It's a pretty busy time of day, but you're mobbed everywhere you go. Look, it's them! Oh, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, but wow, good friends. You have done so much for us. And people bringing you things and clapping you on the back and celebrating you as you walk through the streets. You feel this real sense of accomplishment. You are truly celebrities in this small town. As you swagger your way, and how long do you remain in this form?
8 minutes.
Okay. So right about the time as you swagger your way up to the Rusty Dragon, you see the dog starts to...
Okay, should we cover him?
As you're saying this,
No, it's fine.
you see he sprouts up in Ixon's form. You see several people start screaming and running. By the way, let me know if I clipped on that or blew anyone's ears out. Compression should be stopping that from happening. No, his clothes transform with them, Pat 66. It's part of the spell.
Yeah.
I know alchemists are a bit confusing if you're not familiar with the 3.5 alchemist. It's essentially like a magic user. It's a wizard sort of spell crafting, but it's all based on mutagens and on the alchemical potions that he creates. So when he becomes any form, all of his possessions transform with him, except any biological possessions. So, for example, Ray does not become part of what he becomes part of, but his swords and his potions and everything else do.
I just.
People start running around the streets.
Why do they always do this?
I said we should have covered him.
It's a little surprising. I
But
would
it's
say.
us.
Well,
They
yes,
know
but,
us.
You know, it's been crazy here, and well, they've dealt with a
I
lot.
don't know, when people react and scream at me, it feeds my spirit. I feel invigorated. I think it's my kind of rum.
As they see Ixen standing in the place, some just continue to run, but you see a few that know.
I turn to Ray and I say, see, I told you he's back to normal, and then I let him go back to Ixen because I imagine he probably would.
Yes, he does. He lofts off your shoulder, casts an eye as he flies away from you. He winks, and he lands on Ixen's
Oh,
shoulder.
friend.
I pat his head.
And I just kind of stand and I say, people of Sandpoint, it is okay. Ixen was trying out one of his potions. It's just part of the deal with Ixen. So everything is okay. We are just going into the
Just
Rusty
getting
Dragon here.
some rum.
Everything will be fine.
You see, like there's several of the people, or they're almost becoming accustomed to the strange things that surround you. But there is a few of them that are a bit uncertain, and a woman with a good shock of red hair mixed with white and gray.
It's unnatural, I tell you. You should not be doing and messing with such magics. It's not healthy for him.
Her name is Karen, probably.
There will be repercussions for what you're doing. You are going to have horrible demonic curses upon you. You be careful, lad. You're going to bring it all upon us.
You know,
I'd
she
say your
says that.
curse is a dampering spirit. I'm quite happy. You look quite upset. I think that's the difference between us.
Well,
You
ma'am,
are most unpleasant.
She turns and walks away.
she does realize that there were curses and unpleasantness upon them before we even showed up in this town.
She needs some rum.
She needs to calm down.
You know, some people I find like that woman just never learned to just not talk.
Right?
Because no matter what, I don't care. At the end of the day,
Scared.
Yeah.
So you find yourself back inside the inn. You step into the dim lighting of the Rusty Dragon, and no,
Huzzah, people
don't-
of Sandpoint! It is the heroes! Run for all!
Don't adjust your lighting at home. Suddenly, the whole crowd erupts in the tavern as Cade says, "Rum for all."
huzzah.
Huzzah!
You see, there's celebratory.
The best rum around!
Mako, she had left the ship immediately. She didn't even follow you to where the statue was. She comes walking over. She throws her arms around Cade.
So good to see you, friends. I'm so glad you brought me here quickly. We are most glad to see you, and I say, Cade, you shall not spend a single coin in my tavern. All that you have done, this rum is free for all.
And the crowd even gets louder, and they all start shouting. The lutes are playing. You notice there is a gap on the wall where the head of Malfeshnakor used to stand.
We'll have to put a new one.
Can I sense motive on a makeup?
You can. Go ahead and roll d20 to sense motive.
What if we find a new giant
While he's doing
cat?
that,
Or any,
That's the second one already.
we should go
So
hunting.
the one?
Yes.
Okay, you.
For a giant
hold on. You feel a sudden, you're convinced she's hiding something.
No. You're gonna get on my nerves.
Okay, OOC, for any viewers I run different types of checks. Many checks that I do, I will run. So spot checks, diplomacy, influence checks. Because as an example, let's say if a player is looking for traps and they roll a 1, and then I tell them they find no traps, what do they think?
that there
Well,
was,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
my roll,
clearly
I
a
missed
trap
it,
there.
right? So
Yeah.
they immediately mistrust it, and then they don't role play correctly. I often do that with things like sense motive as well. Occasionally I'll allow sense motives to be rolled by players. In this case, he's now rolled his second natural 1. He rolled a natural 1 on his sense
didn't
motive
die.
with the Mako. So now I'm asking him and the remaining players to have the role-playing maturity, not to use that OOC knowledge. You are now innately distrustful, convinced that she is lying and hiding something. It is the effective
This is gonna
fumble.
bring
It's
division.
it's a fumble of a sense motive check, right? Is what's just happened, which could happen, right? You might be trying to discern what you think, and you might misread cues. You might think they're lying when they're not, or you might think they're telling the truth when they are. This is a way you roleplay that. So, we resume back in character.
I was going to ask Amiko. Yes. Which room did Captain Blackbeard stay in when he was here?
Captain No Beard.
Ameko says,
He was in my third room on the first floor, room 3-1. If you go to the first floor and move down 3, that's the room.
All right.
Do you have a key?
I have a spare key, yes.
Yeah, we would just like to investigate it a little bit.
Investigate. I'm getting what's mine.
Well, this is a bit unusual. For what purpose? I don't normally hand out room keys for my
Well,
patrons.
Classified information.
He was attempting to kill Cade.
What?
He took me stuff.
Here, take the key.
I take the key and let's go.
Here we go. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Proceed up the stairs and unlock the door.
all right, so you head up the stairs, you find the room. Yep, the key opens up the door quite easily. And I'm going to turn down the sounds of the inn since you are now upstairs.
Yo ho, I'm gonna get me gold.
You see a room, it's disheveled, blankets are thrown everywhere. There are empty bottles of what look like some kind of cheap ale.
Such a bad taste. That dude had. That man had.
He left such a mess behind for a man.
Oh, you should have seen his ship. No wonder it sunk.
All right. I would like to search the room for any sign of Cade's gold.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not hard. You
And
actually.
I'm searching too.
Okay, yeah, so you all search and you see it's not difficult to find. As you look, you pull up these tossed over blankets and you see there's a small chest that's been pushed underneath the bed.
All right.
Open it up.
I want to check to see if it has any traps.
No! Captain No Beard, he did not have set a trap.
All right.
He just made messes. I open it up. There better not be a trap.
It's locked.
Do you?
Exit, blow it up.
It's a bunch of dirty linen.
I try to pick the lock.
Can I try and...
Yeah, all right, so let's do a disable device check.
18 plus, I think it's 7.
Yeah, that's it. All right, and so, yeah, you see Ixon leans
Oh, it's
over.
11.
Okay, Ixon leans over. He kind of operates with a couple of crude implements that he has, and in just a few seconds you hear a...
Yeah.
Nice.
The chest opens up, and you see there's a good pile of gold and silver and copper in there.
Cade's money.
And there's also...
This is what he took from me. I paid him to be silent, and he couldn't keep silent.
So he didn't take it from you, you paid him.
Well,
you willingly
the truth
forgave
comes
him.
out. I might as well tell the truth. But you know what? He might as well been stealing since he couldn't keep his tongue shut. I should have cut off his tongue.
Oh my. All right.
My goodness, Cade.
Well, you have your money back now.
I do.
And for Ameko's sake, and I'm going to stretch my hands out and cast prestidigitation and clean up the room.
All
I
right,
wish I could do that.
so you cast
A
prestidigitation.
few times until it's clean.
Solomon stands there
Yeah.
trying to do something with his hands.
Yeah.
Captain Red.
Ameko is Ixon's bane.
Captain No Beard.
So you cast prestidigitation. In moments, the blankets and everything are neatly spread. The room looks cleaned as though it's been freshly
How
scrubbed.
much do I get back?
You find inside the chest, you find your original 4,000 gold.
Oh, huzzah, huzzah.
You find an
I was
additional-
very poor, I'll tell you that much.
You find an additional 800 pieces of gold.
Oh, wait.
So that's
So
4,800.
Okay.
You bring the lights
So
back
how much
up
of that
here.
was the hush money?
Oh, 4,000.
Yeah.
That's why I was hunting for gold wherever I went.
I just figured that was a pirate thing.
It was. But when a pirate loses his
Then it's
booty,
like more.
it's not a good thing.
So it's like very intense need for gold. For a while
It
there.
was magnified.
I see.
And how much more?
So you find an additional 347 pieces of silver.
Hey,
There are 140 pieces of copper.
more to give out. How much?
347 pieces
I
of
got
silver,
that.
140 pieces of copper.
right.
And you also find a bottle tucked in the bottom of the chest.
Hey, what's in the bottle, sir?
You pull it out, and Cade, go ahead and make a knowledge check for me, and let's do knowledge. No, now don't laugh when I say a Cade knowledge check. There are certain kinds of knowledge that Cade has.
Knowledge.
It would be in my
Knowledge.
Oh, I know. I'm
phone.
looking at categories here real quick.
Seafaring.
Seafaring.
But I have knowledge of different things.
I know.
Pirating.
I
The DM actually knows what.
knowledge of rum
Let's do knowledge.
and gold.
Let's do knowledge local.
17.
Yeah, Pat 66, you got to stop guessing ahead of me, my friend. You see. I mean, obviously, when you pull it out, you know that it's rum. You see, it is a rare bottle of Varisian dark rum. This bottle is over 150 years old. You can't even gauge its wealth or its value, but you can imagine that its taste is sublime and beyond any rum you have ever had.
I don't know whether to hug it, sleep with it, or drink it.
Why not all three?
I might. So I'm gonna hug it for a while.
So you're.
Oh, the heavens are blessing me today.
What if you took a sip of it, Kate? Just a
Tiny sip.
tiny
just to
sip.
taste it. Try it.
Maybe a bigger sip.
I
You're
know
feeling
it's
a
kind of
little-
rum that Captain Blackbeard drank, and it was garbage.
See, he didn't even drink the good stuff.
It was
He's an
like
idiot.
I'll try it.
it was just
If you
like
don't
All
like
right, I
it.
find little cups.
Can I make an appraisal check on how expensive this rum is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll
I
appraisal.
might have a
20.
Total 20, right? Not an at 20.
I have a mess kit that has a bowl and a cup and stuff in it.
Oh,
You know, this.
Prepared.
You have knowledge of certain elixirs, but this particular rum, you don't have any discrete
there
knowledge
is
of.
no value that can be placed on this.
You would guess it's probably worth at least 50 to 100 gold. It's very valuable.
Better to drink it.
Amen.
All right, so I pour a little in a cup.
So she hands you a small cup, Cade, as you
And I sniff it.
as you pull, it's wrapped with a bit of leather. You pull that off. There's a cork. You pop the cork out, and the scent.
The drink of life, the smell of the souls of those that have gone on before us, all in one bottle.
Why is Kate only eloquent when it comes to speeches about liquor?
It's true, like, he stutters most of the rest of the time, right? But like this, it just comes so naturally. So you, as the redolent scents waft up, it seems to.
You can get drunk off the smell. There, smell it.
It's almost an aromatic music that begins to waft through the room that plays dulcet
Like
tones.
angel's wings.
Angel's wings playing dulcet tones upon your mind. You pour a small bit of it into the
I
cup.
don't even think I need to pour it. All I can do is live off the smell.
So you don't pour any out?
I don't know, I gotta drink it.
All right, so, this is one of those things, again, kind of going to OC, DM, a little bit of this planned, a little bit of this is ad hoc. There was a chance that he could have put some poison, expecting someone might find his goods
I would
and
smell
use it. But
Not Blackbeard.
he's
He's a loser.
the dice are kind to you today. You taste it. It gives a burn down your tongue and throat, and then there is this warm glow. Your palate explodes with flavor. You see Cade, he staggers a bit. This is the most angelic experience you have ever had.
I can never go back. Once you drink from the back, you never go back. and I give you some
Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna edit that out of the stream.
Blackberry.
This is a family show. All right, so
I take a nice hearty swig from what Cade gave me.
all right, you drink it as well.
Yes.
Just a small swig. I measure.
Okay, you come out. He sort of like reluctantly. You have to pull the cup out of his hand. You take a small sip of it. To you, it tastes quite good. It's warm and flavorful, but nothing magnificent.
It's nice. I enjoy it more than what you had the
Well,
last
then
time.
you don't need any more.
May I try some?
Yes.
And I take a little bit as well.
Yeah, so you taste it. A bit more refined palate. You definitely sense there are deep. You can almost taste the barrel that this was aged in. Very, very resonant tones. Warm burn down your throat. But as you're doing this, you notice Cade, he seems to be almost like agitated. Cade, you feel energy coursing through you.
It's much better than the stuff he offered me when I met him in that little alleyway that one time. But
I don't even think he drank this stuff.
You mean alleyway
Really
rum
good.
versus like bottom of the treasure chest rum.
that's true. Comparison is like
Bottom of 4,000 gold pieces rum.
right.
So Cade, based on your tasting of this and your rum knowledge, this particular brand of ancient Varisian rum has a unique influence only on you.
Ooh.
There are 10 doses
Ta-da.
inside this bottle.
10 doses.
Each time you drink it, not only do you get that fantastic experience, you gain an additional 2 panache points for the day, and you gain +2 on all attacks for 6 hours.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good rum.
That is.
All right.
All right, what's everyone else doing?
Well,
I think I'm going to go.
Rest and then off in the morning.
I agree. What time of day is it?
Oh yeah, so you're like mid-afternoon now.
Yeah. I think it would be good to like get a meal perhaps
Okay.
after
All right.
the last.
What if we sailed
Chaos.
through the night? So we got there like.
I mean, it only takes a few hours from what I remember them saying.
So that was a bit. So it was a full day is what the estimate was last time. I did a bit more. This was a DM mistake, so I did a bit more checking and looked at the maps and whatnot this week. It's about a 2-day sail,
Okay.
2.5, depending on winds.
Okay.
It would have been a good sort of 9-day horse ride, but you have an additional time to get through the mush fens. We're coming up north, and I'll show that map here in a second.
Alright.
But it'd be about 2 days or so, maybe 2 to 3 at most,
Sandpoint
to get
to
around Sandpoint up to the point in the mush fens where you would sort of come ashore and push through.
do I need any deckhands for me ship?
You actually found that you were able to, between the group that you have and the additional help of Scully,
Sully.
Scully,
Sir.
Sully,
Sully.
and
Do not sully my good man Sully's name.
you had good help from Shillelagh as well. So you were able to actually manage it pretty well. You actually found that you saw Cade actually knows his way around the ship. And
Surprising.
Irda,
It's not surprising. I just wasn't a real captain.
Irda proved to be a quick study. Sully did his job. And so you were able to run the ship. You know, it was challenging, but you can do it.
Told ya.
All right, so then
Perhaps I'm
maybe the
destined to be
winds
a
will
pirate
favor them and
myself.
cut down the time. That is a possibility. Or perhaps the winds will go against them and increase the time. So what we'll do is, for sake of time, we're going to fast forward through this. So you have a good night. Everybody, I think you were all healed, but if you're not, you're all fully healed. You're rested. You can take additional rations, as much as you would like. If you want to stock a few additional days of rations on the ship, that's fine. You can stock an extra barrel of rum, any basic supplies that you would like as well.
The
So
rum's better here.
rope, anything else that you want.
Can I get a new horse
Oh, I need a horse.
in town?
So
My horse is on the ship.
yeah. So you had loaded your horse. Shadow
wait,
Mist is
didn't I
on the
get a
ship. You had your. I think. Did anyone lose their horse?
Everyone else's horses were dead.
Yeah, my
Oh,
horse.
that's right. That's
we
right.
didn't get any
Oh,
back.
We didn't leave them in Magma.
Oh,
They
that's
were
right,
gone.
okay.
That's why Shadow Mist stayed in the stable the whole time.
So, when this is discovered, you are gifted 4 additional horses, including one for
You're
Shillelagh.
frozen.
Thank you. Ooh, wow. Freezing always happens on the worst possible look. Golly. Love that one. Should be right back. Thank you for that. Yep. Thank you both. So you board the ship. You have Shadow Mist, of course, there. He consumes quite a bit of food, so you take some additional food for him. You all have horses, basic tack and barding on those horses as well. If there are any other supplies that you think you'd like to gather in the town, nothing magical, but basic supplies, let me know.
I would like to see Brother Quinn if possible, because I have a question related to the level of magic, perhaps, or strangeness in the area where the Misgivings was built, to see what he might know of the history of that, why the Seven might be interested in it.
All right, so you know where to normally find Brodert.
I'm going by myself.
You go by yourself. So, do you want to explain this to them?
Yeah, I'll let, so I'm going to say, I have an idea about the question to ask Brother Quinn. I'm just going to be right back, and I'm going to go.
You don't want us to come with you?
Probably not. He seems to be not the biggest fan
He's
of
just a crotchety
the
old
art
man.
group.
He's
in
cooped up with
general.
his books.
So I figured maybe if I go by myself, ask my question quickly, and come back, it would probably
It's understandable.
go better. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right, so you know right where he resides. You find him in the library. It is late afternoon, so he's in there. As you pass through, let me kill the town sounds here. You pass through the doors, and there's a kind of a quiet ambiance in the library, and you see he's kind of huddled over a book.
That makes no sense. I don't. Why? Why is this? Why is it? How? That's
Excuse
not
me?
what this. What?
Hello.
Oh, it's you.
I came by myself this time. I hope that's okay.
Oh, you didn't bring the annoying but intelligent one with you.
No, I did not.
Well enough.
Yes.
And not the drunkard either.
No, they-
or the preening, prissy little. Clearly, I think that one belongs in a male brothel.
Well,
What can I do for you?
yes, I have a question of interest that something came to my mind while we were discussing some things earlier. Do you know anything of the history of the lands that the Misgivings was built upon? Perhaps any particular magic or special resonances or anything about that area in general that might be of interest to a group of occultist practitioners?
The misgivings have been a blight upon our side for some time. Nothing comes to mind immediately. Why do you ask?
Well, we had discovered the deed to the house from when it was originally deeded to the Foxglove family, and found that after 100 years it reverted to this cult group known as the Brothers of the Seven. And so I was wondering perhaps if there was something special about that area that would make them want that land in particular.
He says,
This rings nothing in this old mind of mine, but I can do some additional research.
That would be wonderful.
I would do that for you. It's quite interesting. I've never heard of the Brothers Seven. I don't know what their purpose would be, but the fact that you find this interesting makes it interesting to me. All I can think of is it must have perhaps something to do with these Thessalonian symbols you continue to find and bring to me.
Yes, these Sahedron runes seem to be tied to the brothers. They seem to be using them as their symbol or something to their whatever their operations are. So,
Very well then. I shall use this knowledge to aid me in my search. Give me a few days. I'll find what I can.
thank you very much.
All right. I'll be away.
And I will be gone.
okay. All right, so
And I head back to the.
you head back out. You guys are all aboard the ship.
Oh, what?
Oh, sorry, what
I
did you-
needed rum.
No, I said like whatever you wanted, like just let me know and you write it down. Because for sake of time, we're not going to go, role play through all of the gathering of supplies in town. You can text me if you have something that you want to be a bit more discreet with.
Okay.
Okay. So anybody have any basic supplies you want besides what you've told me?
No, I think I am set with what I have.
All right. So soon you make your way. You're back aboard the ship. All your new horses are loaded on the ship. You carry the gold and supplies back on board that you had, sufficient rations. In a few moments, you see Irda comes walking up the docks and walks onto the ship.
And I will come up to everyone and say, so, something struck me as I was talking to the mayor and the sheriff before about the brothers and the misgivings, and I thought what in particular would be interesting to them about that specific land. What would be the significance? Because to me it seems like any other land. Brother Quinn, he did not know anything in particular, but he said he would look into it and get back to us in about 4 days. But he perhaps can find something.
How would we connect with him?
Well,
We could come here before we go back to Magnamar after investigating Fort Ranix.
Yes, and I can always send a message to him as well. Perhaps we can work on getting Parlay trained to home for us. But other than that, he's going to look into it for us and see if we can find something out.
So, Ixon, you don't know anything from your alchemical background about a cult that really loves the number 7 and related things?
Can I try to make a knowledge check?
Yeah, go ahead. Do knowledge. Knowledge is local, yeah.
That would be a 18.
No, nothing even really kind of rings a bell for you.
I don't. I'm afraid I know nothing of the sorts.
Well, maybe we'll learn something at Fort Ranix. Hopefully.
Yes, I mean, it all has to be connected somehow. I just cannot figure out the missing puzzles or pieces to this puzzle.
Maybe we'll find some answers at the fort.
Yes, I hope so.
Agreed.
And not die.
No, die.
That would be the number one hope, yes. No dying.
We've got an entire ship's crew with us.
We do.
They can go first.
Oh, Solomon. Perhaps we not sacrifice our
No, I'm
friends.
kidding. I'll go first.
Yeah, right.
All right, anything else?
It seems like you're always the one running out of places.
I like to live. What can I say? I don't want to die.
I guess we the ship here. All right,
Okay.
let us go.
All right. So you push the ship off the docks. Again, you see Irda, Solomon. You're learning your way around it a bit, but it's very odd for you. Your armor's not very comfortable doing it. Even this new, quite nimble and resplendent custom plate that you have, it's still hard to handle ropes. You pull off your gauntlets and do your best. Ixon, are you helping as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Ixon, again, as soon as you get to the ship, Ray and Parlay both head up to the crow's nest and take their respective spots. And pretty soon you're pushing away from the docks. So as you're pushing away from the docks, I'm going to switch to the player-only screen. And we're not going to break yet. We're going to go to break in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to do a quick scene change here. While I'm doing the scene change, I'm going to let the fans interact with the players. So we're going to have a quick sort of timeout Q&A session. So if you're watching right now and you want to ask Ixon something about what motivates his strange behaviors,
Chaos.
if you want to know what caused Cade to lie for as long as he did, or how Irda possibly puts up with all that she does, if you want to know about what hair products Solomon is using, you can ask all those questions as we go through a quick scene change. And let me switch it here.
Yeah, Cade, why did you lie about being a captain for so long?
What did it hurt you?
I think it started out as a lie, and then she was already too far into it, and she just had to keep lying. He.
I know you think I'm a girl, but you know.
I mean, in that picture, you kind of have some nice flowy hair.
I mean, my hair is nice.
Yeah, hair is nice.
And that statue, I'm sorry.
Lovely statue. How I put up with this stuff? Well, I grew up with 6 siblings. So, well, at least for part of my life. And I grew up with, well,
Listen, Pat66 has an important question for you.
Go ahead and read it out loud for everybody else.
Swing Oh. No, Ixon does not swing that way.
But the
No, it is kind of a miracle none of us have died yet.
It is.
Between everything, me being this close to
Actually,
Conley.
3 of you have died, just not these 3.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Well,
had
they
a
did.
very traumatic starting of this group.
3 heroes of Sandpoint.
Well, none of us
One
have
person
died.
died twice.
And then
He
we
was-
came in and saved the town.
He was
so-
not a very wise player. Let's just put it that way.
They all get together. Oh, okay. So
Well, I'm married to the DM.
as a group, like as the heroes of Sandpoint.
Oh,
Yeah.
that. Not in real life. Sorry.
So there was the
Swallowtail
Swallowtail
Festival.
Festival that was taking place in Sandpoint at the beginning, and everyone was there for their various reasons. This goblin attack occurred, and everybody kind of teamed up to stop it.
And we killed the goblins.
Yeah, and then and then after that, they kind of were looking into some other stuff, trying to find Ameko's missing brother and her father and all that stuff that was going on, and then there was a betrayal, and Arathi killed Thovin. There was a bear attack before that, which killed Tyrnal. And
Same
then,
layer.
And then
Not twice.
Arathi and Priwin, the druid, they left, and Cade and Ixon were in the bottom of a pit, and that's where Solomon and I met them.
Stumbled upon.
He and I were at the inn in Sandpoint prior to our meeting. So we had been together, I think, what was it, like a week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we met walking the path or something.
Yeah, and following the same stuff, because we had been kind of paying attention to what they had been up to. And so after that, we got them out of the pit and continued on from there.
And then we've been best of buds ever since. Apart from the constant tension within the group.
Hopefully one of these
Who's
days.
getting threatened this session? Let's find
Now,
out.
he did also ask both, so a quick
As far
overview of
as-
how we actually got together IRL.
Oh, in real life. Oh, in real
Yeah,
life.
in real
Well, I'm married to that one, and I birthed that one.
And then I actually joined our Fourth Age campaign first back in August of 2017. Was it that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that long. Wow.
We played with. I played along with that group, which is my husband plays in that group as well, and several other people. But that's how I joined up.
Jordan asked me if I wanted to play D&D, and I was like, yeah.
What school did you go to?
Blackman.
And
So you guys went to school together.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you had played D&D once or twice before, right?
I never really like actually played. Like, I'd been on Discord for like 2 one-shots that we played for like an hour and a half, and I joined late. So like I never really had experience actually playing until this.
So you've done quite well. All right. So we're going to go ahead and resume, and we will have a break here in just a few minutes. But wanted to get the scene change done first. And you are now at sea. So you took off to sea sort of at dusk, right? And so there is a pleasant. There's a pleasant breeze.
The life of the
Do I
sea.
have me sea legs?
Well, you're about to find out.
All right.
Oh, but I do.
Yeah, Cade has no problem. So, in the dim light of the fading sun, you find yourselves within just a short hour. You're on the open seas. You're a healthy distance away from Sandpoint shortly as the winds carry you. The fading sun moves down the horizon. The breeze is
The salty air upon my skin.
the breeze is already getting quite chill. It's getting sort of the start of winter now, and so you've noticed there have been an increase in rains, and the wind is quite chill. Sully runs around, pulling on
I
rigging.
got his name right.
As you look up, you see Ray is actually moving closer and closer to Parley. He's kind of sneaking across the crow's nest.
Oh. Wait a minute. Do I see this and is that a good thing?
Yeah, so
is he hungry for fresh?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Bird.
I already rolled your check, and you saw this. You know, as you're moving around and you're pulling on the rigging and managing the wind, you look up and you see a very predatory crawl that Ray is doing toward the bird.
So I call for Parley. Parley! Shoulder!
What's your animal handling skill? Go ahead, roll D20 for me. And
Okay,
add
hold
your Animal handling bonus.
I have a handler. I think I do. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, this is
Solomon, stay away from the rails.
Handle animal.
Very
That's always
curious
good
about it.
advice, yes. All right, so let's see, make sure I have our ship in the right location here.
Well, oh crud! I didn't put enough modifiers on my animal handling.
It's all right, go ahead.
+5.
You have some innate bonuses with parlay, so don't just assume.
Oh, huzzah! Praise be! It's 23.
Oh, so
Beautiful.
on command, Parley leaps
That's
off
right.
the mast.
He loves me.
You see Ray pulls out his bow. As he pulls out his little bow, and go ahead, let's do some.
Oh, Ray is gonna die.
A quick fun initiative here. Roll d6 for me.
Oh man, come on.
DM
man.
has a 2.
My D6.
When familiars go at each other.
2.
Reroll.
Roll again. We're doing old school d6 here.
What'd you roll? But
Yeah,
yes.
2. I rolled a 2 again. Parley gets out of distance, and Ray, as he's pulling out his bow, Parley's
I
already
really
on
don't
your
need
shoulder.
to lose another familiar.
You see Ray, he kind of glares and puts his bow and arrow back on his back.
Dude, did I see this between me and Ray?
Yes, you did.
Does he make eye contact with me after?
He does, after he puts his bow away, he kind of scans around, he sees you, he looks at you, his shoulders kind of slump.
No, I really did.
Why? Why would you want my bird to die?
You didn't
Hold on,
see
hold
it?
on, hold on. Yeah, you definitely did not see him do that.
Yeah, so I just...
That makes
Okay.
me upset inside.
So as the ship is
Trained him well.
sailing across the ocean, the winds again, as I said, brisk, fill the sails. Anybody doing anything of interest?
I'm talking to Parley, telling him to be careful about the Ray Goblin, and I give him a little sip of rum on some bread, and I don't know what else to train him about. Something to
So you all
make
see
him closer to me.
Kate is
going
talking to a
crazy.
pigeon on his shoulder, and
Normal day for Cade.
and he offers it rum. You offer it rum.
That's a new one.
Soaked in bread.
Mm,
I'm training him.
You're offering him rum soaked in bread.
Our bread
So yes, the windy
Whoopsie.
small arrows of Ray would have missed. That's Ray. Ray was smart enough to recognize that, C. Carson. Exactly. He's a smart little guy. So when you hold the rum, you see initially Parley shows no interest. When you soak the bread in the rum, you see he starts pecking at it.
Okay.
You give it to him.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
you using the fancy rum?
No.
All right. He gobbles down a piece. He looks like he wants more.
No.
All right.
I don't want to drunk.
Is anybody else doing anything of interest while the ship is sailing?
I'm just moving, working, like walking around, moving what I need to move.
Trying not to throw up.
Okay. As you're doing so, you see Sully. He comes walking over to Irda. Hi, lass. I see you. You look better and better every time we meet, and I don't know how you've been with Cade all this time. Clearly, you've got no interest in him, which shows you've got a good head on your shoulders as well. And I've already laid out my cabin below. It's a spacious ship. You're welcome to spend the night with me tonight if you'd like. The ship can get very cold at night. And
I think we should probably keep things professional on this ship. Wouldn't do to have something happen and tragedy strikes so often nowadays. So
professional? What do you mean?
let's see. It's like We
Do I
should
hear this
have
going
a
on?
friendly relationship, not a extra friendly relationship.
No, so he has, I didn't move his miniature, but where I have her, she's kind of up working some of the rigging on the prow of the ship, and he kind of followed her up there. The wind is pretty loud here, so it carries across the ship.
But plus, Sully, I do not know you very well yet. I prefer to know my supers.
At 66.
So you're saying I just need to be a little more patient with you, lass. If I play me cards right.
Perhaps. We will see.
All right, fair enough. Sully's a patient
He
man.
has no hope.
You can't be a first mate with Cade and not be patient. So
Well, that's fair.
I can
That's
I can
very
wait.
fair.
You see, he grabs a hold of a piece of rigging, and to make sure you're watching, he kind of pushes off and he swings down off of the prow of the ship and lands in the midst of it. As the sun continues to fall, soon it's night. And anything special that you're doing as you're sailing? The moon it's a good-sized full moon, casting light across the waves. Even though it's getting cold, you can see quite well. The swells are growing a bit, but it's still reasonably choppy seas. I need the three of you to make constitution checks for me, please. You do not.
Just start constitution.
Yeah, base con.
15.
11.
13.
The two of you both, after a few hours of this, you feel your stomachs beginning to roil. Ixen, you don't have any difficulty with this, and you're becoming extremely nauseated.
Alright.
It's about what I expected to happen.
I probably should sit down for a moment, I think.
I agree. I try and find just a corner to go sit down in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you do so within just a few minutes. You're both hurling over the side of the ship uncontrollably. The nausea is tremendous. It's you repeatedly over and over again until you feel like there is literally nothing left in your gut. Cade, you see this, and
Might have been
you're familiar with land lovers, sort of, losing their innards
Aye.
first time on the sea.
You're a bunch of landlubbers. You aren't fit for the sea.
The sea is not quite my forte.
I guess you won't be my second mate.
Guess I
I
won't.
will get
That's so sad.
it will get better, I'm sure of it, eventually. And just, developing my
Super.
constitution here.
So, as you continue on in the nighttime, you hear off in the distance, there's a crack of thunder. And Cade, you recognize the swell of the water is getting higher. There's definitely some winter weather.
There'll be a storm out brewing.
Oh no.
I can tell you about a storm when I have a tale to tell.
You're going
there
to tell it
anything
right
we need
now
to
as the
do?
storm is coming?
Captain?
Aye! I'll tell it before the storm comes so you can prepare yourself. There, one night upon the sea, we were sailing. Yes, in Blackbeard's ship. Crappy old ship. But anyway, we were sailing on the sea. You hear that? It's coming. It's coming for y'all! Don't be scared. I lived to tell the tale, or did I? But I did. All right. We heard the first crack of thunder. Then a second. And the wind started howling. And the swells started swelling. The next thing you know, the ship is filling with water and we're going as much as we can.
As he's talking, you see
Hang
the
on
winds are
for
picking up
dear.
and the rains are starting to really come
Just
down.
like this. Be
Should
prepared.
I do something?
Below the sail.
As Kate is talking, you see like the sail of the ship looks like it's about to
Okay.
be ripped right off.
All right. Hold on for dear life. That's all I gotta tell you.
Batten the hatches.
That's right. Batten the
I've learned
hatches.
I want to go and lower the sail down. so that it doesn't like tear up.
Well, me best mate Sully would already know that, dear.
But he would need help.
Yes.
To do it.
All I say, grab a rope and hold on, and bring down the sails.
All right, so you see Sully, he's not even listening to Kate. He's already scrabbling up the mast. He's pulling ropes as quickly as he can.
Down, trying to help.
You see lightning crackles. It strikes the water. The waves begin to swell higher and higher.
Go below deck.
All right, I need you
I was
to
already
roll.
there.
No, you weren't.
You told
Maybe
me,
you were.
You told him to go below deck.
Well,
I go below deck.
shouldn't they? I don't want him to be thrown overboard.
So you still have rigging that needs to be pulled
of
out.
course,
So you
after
know
it's
that.
all
So
done.
yeah, you're still you know that well.
I don't know if it's all done.
Go ahead and roll. Just roll a d20 for me, please.
Well, I know how to do my shit.
Roll a d20 for me, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. You know what? I want it to inside.
Yes. No, sorry.
Come on. I would know.
This you would know, hey Redbeard.
You're not a real
You would know, but this is a. By the way, is the for the viewers, is the sound of the waves? Is it overwhelming the voices? I've got so many dynamic sounds here happening. I want to make sure you're hearing us clearly. So if any of you can let us know, I'd actually like it to be a little bit louder, frankly, but I want to make sure I'm not overwhelming.
I will just say I bought a brand new die
Okay,
at
good.
a game
I'm gonna
shop
turn it up just a bit.
on Friday. And I asked him to find it.
Excuses.
He did not. So that's why I rolled a one.
Looking around the ship when Cade calls out to go.
So you see Cade starts. So he's
When he says to get below decks, I Irda would naturally think, okay, something bad's about to happen. So I'm going to look and see if there's like any ropes looped through the sides on the ship, like there would be for all like the rigging and
there
stuff.
are,
And I'm just going to loop my arm through one of them just in case, so that I can keep working, but so that I have myself anchored.
Okay, so as you do so, you kind of pull the rope around your arm. You see anchored. You look up. You see Cade. He's unwinding something, and he pulls on it. And then you see his eyes get wide. Cade, you do know your way around a ship, just not this ship yet. This is a new ship for you, and you see he pulls the front sail in the wrong direction. It catches the main force of the wind.
No.
You feel the ship pull down into the water.
Oh, come on,
All right,
man.
so I need you to roll another d20. By one. You feel the front of the ship, the front mast starts to, you hear it begin. Cade immediately pulls the rope back the other way. He gets swung off the top of the prow, swings around on the rope over the water, comes back and lands, and the sail then kind of falls against, down against the mast, narrowly avoiding snapping the mainsail or listing the ship over. Cade, you land. It actually was a pretty cool maneuver you just pulled off, but not the one you'd really
Oh,
intended.
Blaster and Barnacles! That was quite the experience I just had.
It's probably a good thing that I had anchored myself to the side of the ship. When
Very good. Everybody, you just feel the whole ship kind of rock. Not enough that I need you to make dex checks to go off deck, but the waves continue to break over, and I need. So I need you. You're by the side. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Natural one.
A natural one. Okay. All right.
A lot of ones.
What is wrong
So
today?
you continue to, now you're just basically, you've got all the rigging tied off, all the sails are down on the ship, the waves are, you're just kind of listing in between these waves. You have no control over the ship anymore because you have no sails, you brought them all down. You're buffeted side to side on the waves, and then you come over one particularly large wave.
How do I see this?
Yeah, everybody sees this.
Okay.
Sully shoots Cade a glare briefly. Yeah, Sully is too busy trying to survive to shoot any glares. You come over the wave as you come crashing back down. The prow of the ship hits the water. There's a spray. Now, this is a good ship. It's a new ship. It's very strong. As it hits that spray of water and it goes over the top, then you see suddenly, thunk, and you see a giant tentacle
Oh,
comes out and smacks onto the top deck of the ship. And we're gonna stop there.
No!
We're gonna take a break.
This is not good.
Right there. So thank you so much, all of our.
It came back to get us.
Don't yet. So thank you so much, all of our viewers. We're gonna take a quick break here. This is gonna be a 10-minute break, and we'll see if the.
Good thing I told you about the extra weapons I brought on board.
We'll see if the crew survives on their first real voyage, the real maiden. The trips hit quick to Sandpoint doesn't count. True maiden voyage of Ameko's Revenge, and there were some very unfortunate dice rolls. So, as a DM, you don't have these things. You have pre-prepared possible encounters, and then everything rolls. Like I like the mix of pre-planned and random. So it's the dice rolls and what happens, and some very unfortunate DM dice rolls over here have resulted in a potentially, potentially deadly and even TPK style encounter. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this group after the break. We're going to have a couple of reminder announcements as well after the break, and we appreciate all of you being with us. Hang by just 10 minutes. If you're watching us right now and you haven't given us a follow yet, and if you haven't subscribed, we have one simple question for you. What are you doing? Stay tuned. Blue Box will be right back. All right, we are coming back live here momentarily. Thank you for hanging with us through the break. And we're trying to do a little better job of holding our timing cues. Solomon, I don't see your mic on yet. Oh, there we go. I knew you could do it.
It's really
all
difficult.
right, and so we're going to have our other two players down in a moment. Thanks for staying with us through the break here on Blue Box. We're really excited. It's been, I think, a fun session already today. You never know how long the players are going to stay one place. I honestly never kind of expected you would try to chase those urchins through the street, but it was fun that you did, and it could have happened, but the rolls, again, the dice weren't with you. So we're talking a little bit about our upcoming Greyhawk campaign. I want to give a reminder. I mentioned 2 dates at the beginning of the stream, and I know some of you weren't here at the beginning, but we have June 6th. That's going to be a Saturday at 6:30 Eastern, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. And we'll be doing our opening introductory one-shot with Jay Scott, Lord Gazumba, and the amazing Greyhawk community, launching our new Greyhawk campaign based on the original gaming world of Gygax and Arneson. Then on Tuesday, June 9th, we'll begin our regular weekly stream of a brand new campaign. So this campaign will continue on Sundays. This group is going nowhere. So Cade, Ixon, Solomon, and Irda, they will all be here to entertain, stun, and occasionally befuddle you for the next several weeks, months rather, as this campaign will continue. But then we'll be doing our Greyhawk campaign on Tuesday nights. So we'll have a Sunday and a Tuesday, and you'll have 2 Blue Box sessions every week. Huzzah! Who doesn't want that?
Huzzah.
But then I mentioned earlier an amazing giveaway on June 9th. When we launch our inaugural Greyhawk campaign, we're going to give away this original 1983 World of Greyhawk box set. It's got the Darlene maps, the original maps. It's got the original handouts, books. This thing is pristine, and this will be a giveaway that we'll be doing on June 9th. So don't miss that stream with us. All right, while we're waiting for our other players to come down, you had a question. One of our players in that Greyhawk campaign, Solomon, that will be our own Evelyn/Irda. She'll be a player in that campaign. And she was asking about character creation and stats. So the answer to your question is that yes, it is basically 3.5 at essence, but we are also introducing a lot of elements of 1E and 2E, which include specialized classes, things that don't exist. So we're not going to have the 3.5, incredible variety of prestige classes, no unchained type stuff. What we'll have is the core 3.5, and then we're going to augment it with a lot of the original 1E, 2E materials that originally came out. And I'm going to give a huge shout out to any viewer or player that can tell me where many of these original classes for AD&D 1E and 2E first appeared. So not the ones that were in the player's handbook. The newer classes, the specialized classes, they were coming out pretty regularly, that's a hint. Where were they coming out? Do I have any down here? Not there. Wait, I'm pretty sure I brought... Yes. Can you pull one of those off that shelf right behind you there? Probably the complete series? No, that's where they would wind up. They would originally be published in one of these. This was a publication that occurred regularly through the 70s and 80s, late 70s and through the 80s, called Dragon Magazine. This was the official magazine of Dungeons and Dragons when it first came out. And they would have... each month they would have new ideas, new spells, new monsters, new classes. Sometimes they would have modules, DM tips. I've got several of these magazines now.
Where'd you get them?
And so I got a lot of these for Christmas, or for my birthday rather. And so these Dragon magazines, that's right, exactly, Pat66. These supply a lot of those original classes. So to answer your question, Irda, they did, that's exactly right. What we'll do is, even with your swashbuckler that you're going to run, we'll look at the basic Pathfinder stuff, or the 3.5E stuff, but then I've got a swashbuckler class from the Dragon magazine, and we're going to look at those two, and we're going to create a specialized, a custom amalgam of that for our Greyhawk campaigns. The purpose of the Greyhawk campaigns is to bring old and new together. So we have rule sets, and this sounds complex, but it's really not. 3.5 is the core, so think of the middle. And then we pull in some 1E, 2E, and we pull in a little bit of 5E. I say a little, I mean a very, very little, but I pull a little 5E in as well. And it makes a really fun sort of customized campaign. All right, so we are back, and let's go ahead and kill the ambient music and see if our players survive. Back to the nighttime scene. And let me pull up the
So quick.
violent
We were
seas.
just a 1 to 2 day journey.
A 3 hours to. I'm sorry.
A
Kraken.
2-day tour.
We'll kill it.
All right. So you see that the whole ship sort of rocks violently as a tentacle whoosh, comes up and smacks on top of the
do these
ship.
work on this thing?
You've never tried one, but you would assume they do.
I should know.
No, I mean they look like they do. You've not
Alright.
fired them yet.
Oh, the
Man
ballistas?
the weapons!
All right. Initiative.
Oh dear.
DM has a 3.
Oh wait, it's my ship, I get to roll. Come on. 4, you lose.
All right, you have it. So you see this, it's a massive green tentacle with suction cups on it that have slapped onto it actually rocks the boat as it hits, and it's kind of pulling on it.
Hey, this is not a good situation I find myself in. Okay, what do I do? Is it
Say
me?
you, Captain.
Oh man, these little things.
Ballistas.
Yes.
All right, so Cade, you're running up to a ballista. Is that what you're doing?
Hey.
All right,
yes.
so you're
And I
closest.
have acrobatic skills, so.
So you're closest. Hold on, you're closest to the rear ballista. So you're not rolling anything. You're gonna flip up. You run.
But I want to be where Irda is and get the.
Well, that's the front though. You were closer to the back. There's a ballista in the rear.
So what's that gonna do me?
It spins. So you spin it around. You spin the ballista around. The tentacle is on this side of the ship. That's why our viewers can't see it. You spin the ballista around, and you.
I see
You
where
pull
the
it back.
Kraken is.
You c- well, you don't know what it is. You don't assume what it is. You see the tentacle. You do not get an attack this round though. Your round was spent flying up there, pulling the ballista bolt back. You now have it cocked and loaded. Let me make sure we can see Cade. Don't want to miss the captain. There we go. And he's there, right here. This is Cade. Let me grab I don't have my low res pointer here, but. Oh, wrong. Cade's on the ceiling. All right, so here's Cade. He's at the back of the ship. The tentacle of the Kraken has slapped here, right next to Ixon. And it's on the ship. All right, we go in order of initiative here.
So, my challenge says that I receive the attack bonus against the target whenever the target is threatened. So I am assuming whatever this creature is that I would not be able to threaten it.
No.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's normally for sort of sentient humanoid type creatures or
Okay.
creatures that can be conversational with you.
In that case, I'm going to take my sword and I'm going to swing down as hard as I ever have in my entire life.
All right,
on
so
it.
Solomon, you sprint over right next to Ixon where the tentacle is, and as Solomon smacks down at the tentacle, roll to hit.
That is a 20.
20, yeah. Okay, so thunk, you hit the tentacle. You feel your blade just barely pierces the skin. You do damage. You get a second attack. Go ahead and roll your second attack.
For my second attack, I'm going to use a Vital Strike,
Okay.
and that's a 31.
All right,
to hit.
you pull your blade out. You see blood flows from the spot. You bring it back down. You hew into the tentacle. Your blade goes halfway down. Roll damage.
For the first one, 3 points.
And
then-
add your strength bonus to each. So it's 3 plus
So
damage
3
bonus.
plus
Okay, play your sword.
21. Wait, no.
No. It'd be strength plus weapon bonus.
11.
Okay.
For the first one.
All right.
And then 3, 6, 13, 14.
All right. Boom. The second time you hew through almost all the way. You see the tentacle starts to slide off the side of the ship. Part of it's still wriggling, but there's a strip of flesh attached to the bottom between the suction cups, and it holds onto the ship. What are you doing?
I'm going to release the rope, and I'm going to come down to the main deck, and I want to get within range of my my party members, and I'm going to start playing my raging song for the inspired rage.
All right. So Irda pulls out her flute.
And as a reminder, that's a plus. Well, hold on. Now I can't even remember. Hold on. That is +4 plus. Is it +4 strength, +4 constitution, +4 to will save, and -1 to your AC. If whoever wants to take it.
+4 to will save?
Yep.
+4 to will save now. That's gotten really good. Okay. All right. So you hear the beautiful tones of her flute. They somehow pierce through the cracking lightning and thunder and the crashing of the waves. And there's a courage that undergirds each of you. Ixon, what do you do?
I'm going to throw an acid flask at the tentacle where Solomon was striking.
Okay.
And I'm going to do rapid shot, so I get two throws.
Okay.
That's just not. That would be 4 plus. No.
What was the total? I mean, it's like, let me know the roll, because the tentacle's right there. Don't assume you know an armor class. Don't assume anything. Just tell me what your roll is.
What? Oh my goodness. 12 is
16.
16. Yeah, still 16, yeah. Okay. Your first flask hits the tentacle.
Okay.
Acid pours across it. Roll your second.
Second, same thing. So I got it.
We are rolling not well today.
Alright, so that is 6 plus 13 plus 5, 18 on the first one.
The ship rocks, comes up on another wave.
21 in the second.
So total was
18 plus 21 is
39. Wow. So acid it hits a tentacle. You see it burns through. Pop, the tentacle snaps. It comes off the ship. You see another tentacle comes up.
Save me, ship!
Your first good die roll of the night. As the ship comes up, the wave rocks the ship. The tentacle kind of goes off course. It slaps the water and misses. You crest the wave. You crash to the other side. Cade, you pull your ballista around. You don't see any sign of it yet. What do you do?
Well, I'm looking for it.
Okay, initiative. DM has a... Wow, so it's not going my way anymore. DM has a 1.
Huzzah!
Roll like I did against the two guys in the alley. Do it.
Yes. All
What,
right.
you have 6? All right. As you pull the ballista around, you see this massive tentacle snaps back into the water, severed, cauterized. You also see, you catch through the rain and the wind that's buffeting you.
Good eye.
Part of your deck is being eaten away by acid that continues to go through the wood. You see other tentacles snapping up around the ship. Nothing has hit them yet, but you see them, they're all around you.
Well, I'm looking for the base of the body.
You don't see it. All you see are like the waves are so high and cresting and cresting and cresting. Even the tentacles aren't far above the water. Like whatever this is, it seems to be struggling even with the waves.
I have a good idea of where it could be, so I shoot into the dark.
At what?
No, wherever.
So you're not shooting a tentacle. You're shooting sort of in the water where you think whatever this is.
That's not smart. Whatever tentacle I can go for. I don't like this. I don't want to ruin my ship.
I feel like our lives are currently more in danger than the ship.
No, I want my ship. I'll save the ship. Okay.
So what are you doing? I need an answer real quick.
I shoot at a tentacle that I think I can hit.
Okay, all right, roll to hit.
I'm using a panache or a.
No, you can't panache this, so advantage,
You
yes.
know, the advantage is good.
Cade, is your mic still on?
Yeah.
Hang on here, everyone's saying Cade's mic is off. Let me check. Say something, Cade.
Arr, mateys.
No.
Arr.
Is it on standby or is it?
No, I'm seeing it. I don't know what's going on. So, if the music is not overwhelming anyone else, it should not be overwhelming Cade. So sorry, viewers. Cade, give us a real loud huzzah.
Huzzah!
Yeah, you're on. I don't know what that's. Yeah, that's odd. Okay, thank you, Captain Redbeard. All right, so what was your role again?
I know. That's what I was saying. Cat. See, it's under the ship.
Yeah, I know. I didn't tell you no. I said, what are you doing?
I'm shooting a tentacle.
Okay.
We can hear Kate, but not sounding like normal. Okay. Well, here you go.
Maybe because your mic's turned sideways, try to turn it up.
Oh, I got a 19.
All right. Thunk.
I mean, 19 plus, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, it's a giant ballista bolt. This thing is the size of 15 arrows. It's a massive thunk. It pierces through. And roll 4d6 for me, please.
Come on, I need all sixes.
Hey.
Hey, I got 17.
Ooh, all right. Thunk! You see the ballista bolt penetrates the tentacle. It rises in the water and falls back down.
Ah, you demon!
You see another one on your side again, Ixen. It's slapping over the top. It's coming right toward the ship. Solomon, what are you doing?
Oh.
It's not on the ship yet. It's out of sword reach.
Are there any tentacles on the ship?
No. Like, you can see whatever this is, the storm is jostling the ship. The waves are growing. It's struggling to gain hold.
If there's nothing on the ship,
So it sounds like I up on the mic. That's not.
Turn this way. And then let me see your mic.
Been like that.
Let me see your mic real quick. Hang on 1 second. I mean, this one had full batteries. Should be okay. Just
yeah, unless it's on the ship, I can't. I wait.
so Solomon stands ready.
Stand ready.
All right, Irda.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my spell kinning to utilize one of my to use a spell that I don't have prepared.
So it needs to be on one of these.
So I'm going to kind of get as close as possible toward the water, and I'm going to cast Sound Burst, which is like a sonic thing to try to like rattle using the water to amplify the sound.
Okay, interesting. Irda sounds far away also. Okay, so let's do this. Hang on real quick. Let me see if there's something going on here. Let's pull that down. And then let's pull this down. It's got to be some kind of noise cancellation that's happening. All right, so Irda again.
What I want to do is I use my spell kinning to cast Sound Burst, and I want to like basically angle it towards the water so that it amplifies the sonic effects of this ability.
Okay, all right, so read what that does for me, please.
You blast an area with a tremendous cacophony. Every creature in the area takes 1d8 points of sonic damage and must succeed on a fortitude save to avoid being stunned for 1 round. Creatures that cannot hear are not stunned but are still damaged.
Okay, and what's the DC?
Let's see, level 2, that would make it a 16.
Okay, all right, so you see Irda, she holds her hands toward the water. You want to...
Basically what I'm doing, because I'm playing my flute right now, is I'm actually going to use the magical ability of this and actually create like the sound to be like severely amplified and extremely shrill coming out of the flute, and it's just going to become this like focused blast of sound, like way louder than you like would expect to come out of this instrument, directed right at the water to hopefully do something about this monster.
Okay. All right. So as she does so,
It's a 16 for
yeah, you see a blast of sonic power hits the water. The water even shakes beneath the waves. As you see it reverberates through the water, you see the tentacles. They suck back down beneath the waves. The ship rocks again beneath another wave. You crest it, and as you come over the top, you see the storm still rages, but there's no further sign of whatever plagued you.
Huzzah!
You're just
Huzzah?
hero forever.
The winds continue to rock the ship. You're still cast about in the waters, but you see no further sign again of this creature.
Was that the thing we saw at Thistletop? At the one hole that we looked through?
I think so.
Does it ring a bell as far as what we saw?
Sure, so one roll d20 for me and add your just add intelligence bonus, base intelligence bonus.
19.
18.
15.
Yeah, you all can pretty much judge this thing was much larger than what you saw at Thistletop. All right, so real quick, so we're having some, I don't know what the issue is here. Let's do a quick mic check. So people are saying that they're picking up sounds, but it's as though it's coming from other mics. I'm looking at mine when I'm talking.
Definitely.
Well, hold on a second here. How, no, those are okay.
Is that one over there?
No, nothing's been turned on. Everybody's mics are on. So let's just go around the room real quickly and give me a good sound. I am Irda.
I am Irda.
I am Solomon.
I am king.
So I'm seeing each one of those move. So I don't know what on earth could be happening here with those mics. So we're just going to keep going.
What if you turned off the background noise and redid it? Maybe it's interfering.
I mean, I've already turned it so far down.
Turn it off.
Ixen is off too. So let's go around. I'm sorry, everybody. Right? It's like, what an immersion killer. So off as in not right. All right. Oh, off. Okay. Yeah, that's important. Like, let us know what you're hearing. So let's try again.
Right.
Let's just do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold out. 1.
1.
No, let's try again. 2, 3. 1.
1, 2.
3.
Sorry. Let's try again. We can start over. 1.
Okay. 2.
3.
5.
Yeah, I think it looks to me like everybody's okay. Thank you for your patience, viewers. Let us know what you heard. But I mean, I'm watching the mixers. I'm watching all the everyone seems to be up, except, Ixen, you're really quiet when you talk. But that's just your voice is quiet. DM and Solomon sound fine. All right, so let's try Irda again.
Irda.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're.
Ixen.
No, you're really quiet. Your mic's on?
Yeah, Ixen.
Say again, one more time.
Ixen.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Cade?
Everyone else is distant.
Ixen.
I have no idea. Are you kidding me? Like, there should be...
My mic is close.
Wait a minute. Did this thing somehow disconnect? Hang on. I see what happened here. This has never happened before. I don't know why. Somehow our PC mixer, I think, disconnected,
Oh.
which it's never done.
That's weird.
That is
a
super,
new-
super weird. You can never have enough problems. Every time you think you have it all dialed in. All right, so now let's try going around the room
All right.
again. Hang on one second. Wait, why does that still say connect? Let me close that. And that looks
The
good.
radio
Set up. It says disconnected. Let's go this way this time. Sorry, fans. Really don't know. It is still, I think. There we go. Okay, let's try that.
All right.
All right, so try again, Irda.
I'm Irda.
Yeah?
I'm Solomon.
I'm Ixon.
I am Cade.
All right, I think that should have fixed it. Sound better now?
Let us know.
Can we be heard?
Yeah, I think it was something funky with the mixer, which is we've never had that happen before.
Are you out there, landlubbers?
Yeah, now everyone
Okay.
is good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Hey, D&D player 888, I saw you earlier. Good. And look, I'm sorry that really sucked. Let's try to just run right back into it. All right, so the waves continue to crest the ship. You see again, as I said, no further sign of the creature.
All right. So I dropped my inspired rage since we don't need it at the moment.
Aye, the magical beauty needs to use that more often.
Unfortunately, I can only do that one once in a while.
Well, save it.
I will make sure.
In your back pocket for these kinds
I
of
will
things.
keep it on this ship. It seems like it might be useful for me to have that one on hand regularly.
Aye.
How bad? You said there was like a hole or something where the acid was.
Sure, so you're standing right there. You saw where Ixon's potion went. It's not terrible, but there's... Well, let me see here. There are
Ixon just wants to ruin my shit.
7 small holes, about this big, that have burned through the top part of the ship.
My beautiful ship.
That's fine.
No, it's not. No, it was. Prestidigitation.
The ship continues to rock with the waves, but you do see the squall. It was some sort of a winter squall. It seems to be settling now, and
Aye,
slowly
that's a
the
story
waves
I
are
have
getting
to
lower.
tell when we get to the next town. Aye.
You know, I think I'm perfectly content staying on land. After this, boats have never really been my taste.
well.
and
I was really looking forward to you being my second mate.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, kid, but it's not too stellar.
So you ride out the rest of the storm, which soon turns to just a good, strong rain, and then soon the seas are calm again, and you pass the remainder of the night uneventfully. You did lose a bit of time on this part of it, but as the morning comes again, you're light and you pull the rigging and the sails back up, and the ship continues. You sail around the coast, and so let's bring up where you're sailing here for everyone to see. And let me switch the views. I'm much better about not clicking the wrong thing anymore. And so as let me pull this up just a bit so the viewers see the map. There we go. So you sailed from Sandpoint. Here's Magnamar.
Okay.
This is where you were initially. You came to Sandpoint. Now you came back around Magnamar. You were past Magnamar. Here, sort of deep into the sea, heading around the tip of the peninsula when the storm hit. The storm and what you impacted, you came around. There was a lighthouse here, which actually helped you through the last part of the night. And you continued around the coast. By the time the next day dawns, you don't know exactly, but you would estimate you're somewhere here. You were planning on coming ashore right here, which would be the shortest distance to get to Whistledown and then up to Turtleback Ferry, which would take you to the area where Fort Rannick was, which is right here. So that's where you're at. You're currently right here. And as you continue to sail, it's the next day. Anyone doing anything of interest during the day?
Just going about the business that I need to go about to make sure that,
Do I know if this new cook is a good cook?
Great question. So, Arson has provided for you.
Arson, what's on a ship?
He provides for you the next morning, and as you taste, he brings out a bowl of stew for each of you. He seems quite proud. He holds 2 in each hand, and he comes back up each time he hands you bowls of stew.
Smell it.
It's wonderful. You've got to try it. I'm a right good cook. I told you this when we were in Sandpoint.
I smell it.
It smells quite nice. He hands the two of you bowls.
What?
Sully takes one. Sully doesn't even. He apparently he has some confidence in this.
I'm gonna.
I start eating as
I
well.
start eating.
Ravenous.
It is a moderately done stew. It's got some potatoes and carrots in it. The meat is, not poorly cooked. You would call this middle of the road, but he stands back beaming.
Am I not the best ship's cook you've ever had?
Well, it's better than I thought it was gonna be, that's for sure.
You're my first ship's cook, so I say yes, indeed.
He beams, apparently taking this as praise.
Definitely a cook.
I pour a little rum into mine. It's a secret sauce.
Made with love.
Yes.
He beams at this and he heads back down below decks. He continues to feed the crew. You come around the tip of the peninsula. You sail for the remainder of the day. You head then again through another night on the ship. And this one is blessedly uneventful.
Thank goodness.
So again, all spells restored, all abilities.
You're
You-
the sound thing. Did that thing in for good.
You come
Hopefully.
to the next morning, and Shalelu, she walks up to you, Cade. Captain Cade,
That's a good sound.
We are getting to the closest point toward the ferries and the rivers. We should come ashore here within just 1 or 2 miles. I have been in this land before. I believe I can help guide us over the fens, though I will not lie, they are dangerous areas.
What do you mean, dangerous, me good lady?
I mean, difficult for horse travel. I also mean there are various creatures which inhabit these fens. Some even say the dead walk them, though I've never seen this.
Killed the dead before.
I just would like a trouble-free day. That's... Oh,
That is the ultimate wish, I would say. Just a nice.
I tell ya.
trouble-free day.
Sometimes it feels like all we do is go through trouble so that other people have trouble-free
That
days.
is fair.
But our days are trouble-full.
Days full of trouble. And trouble full of days. That's what me days are made of.
Alright.
We live a troubleful life.
I think I have a song.
I would recommend stepping away from the bardic related things. Do not describe. It's not. Just stick to the rum. Just stick to the rum.
Okay.
Your cook comes
You're
back up.
crushing such young, budding inspiration and
Hey, I like
creativity,
listening
though.
to him talk about rum. It sounds really great. There's nothing wrong with that.
Cause rum is the drink of life and gives me life in these bones of mine.
So the cook comes back up as you're talking. You see Sully's already kind of bringing the ship in closer to the shore, begins to cut the sails. The cook comes back up. He walks over to you, Cade, and he has some sort of special dish. It's a looks like a flat loaf of cake of some kind.
Oh my, what is this, good sir?
I bring you rum cake.
Oh my lands!
And
Sir, where did I find you?
I don't know, but I'm still a bit hurt by your words. I am not one that sets fire. I am the son of Arr. I would think any pirate knows what Arr son means.
And he stuffs the cake at you.
I taste it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic actual rum cake.
Oh, blessed!
It's got a nice.
I-
It's apparently 90% rum and 10% cake, which is
I'm
just
so
like you
glad
like
it took me 3 times to get you on board, but I'm glad I listened the 3rd time.
You make your way ashore, and as you make your way ashore, you see that you are in fact at a land which is well monikered by being called the Mush Fens. It's a swamp land. There are good-sized trees, but they all look like they're sort of steeped in 1 to 2 feet of water, boggy marshes
We have to walk
and
through
whatnot.
this.
We have
And-
horses.
Shalelu says,
Calm down.
I understand your concern, Cade. I cannot promise safe travel, but I have, as I said, traveled these before. I believe I can guide our horses on the right track.
I trust ya.
If you say so.
All right.
So as you pull up, you drop anchor, and when you drop anchor, you take out your rowboats. Let's go! I have rowboats. We're gonna bring them out this way. So see that.
So, while I was on the ship, on that day, how do I teach my pigeon how to like home? You know, like go on trips and come back.
Good question.
How do we get our horses ashore?
Well, they're not going to get ashore on the same rowboat. So you're going to have to take. You've got 2 rowboats.
Hey, there we
And
go.
so the logistics that you work out for sake of time, the logistics you work out for sake of time are that you'll take 2 rowboats. Sully and Arson are staying aboard the ship. They're going to make sure the ship maintains its proper rigging.
And I got them weapons.
They'll defend the ship should anyone come close to it. They're going to stay behind. Shalelu heads with you. So you make your way ashore. You do it in 2 trips. These rowboats are good sized. These are not like the rowboats you think of. These are sort of the things you'd see on good sized ships that can bring large crews off. So you take 2 of those to shore, 2 horses each time, a separate 3rd trip for the final
my
horse.
horse might have to have its own boat because it's so big.
Yeah, so Shadow Mist goes on the last boat. So it's 2, then Shadow Mist and the Traveler. And you get, dinghies would be a correct term for it. They're good-sized boats. You row them, but they're pretty good. So you come aboard the shore. The ship is anchored out. It's a good sort of 100 yards offshore to make sure it's not getting too close to any reefs or anything that would be sort of sandbars underneath the water. And within moments, you find yourself setting off on land through the mush fens, again, which are here. As you head through the mush fens, Shalelu, she guides you. You hear all kinds of different animal sounds. Even within, it almost sounds like nighttime, even though it's not. There are buzzing insects and crickets and frogs. The horses' hooves plop, plop, plop through the water. They struggle a bit, but Shalelu holds so she's got a long stick that she pulled from a tree when you got shortly on shore, and she's from horseback. She's quietly kind of prodding ahead, carefully looking into the waters, and she's guiding you through the paths.
All right, as we go, I just want to keep a close eye out for any strange movement shapes that it doesn't seem to be part of the bugs and things that we would expect to see.
All right, so you're all watching. Go ahead and everyone roll D20 for me. You move
Natural 20.
through these, nat 20.
Also a nat 20.
18.
Wow.
So 34.
Okay, all right,
Well,
so
I'm depending on them.
this is the most keenly visioned group I've ever DM'd. You are watching, and you do notice occasionally there are things which seem to be moving beneath the water. You'll see a tail, you'll see a little fin that'll pass. Occasionally a snout pops up. Shalelu does seem to be expertly guiding you across. It's getting to late afternoon now.
I like solid ground or my ship. Do not
take
like
my,
the mush.
I put my sword, or I have my sword away, and I take the glowing spear out that I got from Zanisha.
Solomon, ever one for new weapons, pulls out his glowing spear. What's everyone else doing aboard horseback?
Continue to watch, having my flask ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ray seems a bit antsy. He kind of motions at you like he wants to fly off and look around. His shoulders drop. Parley apparently has no desire to go anywhere. He almost is shivering on your shoulder.
Oh, poor Parley.
So you continue to pick your way through the mush fens. Shalelu calls over her shoulder.
Just continue to keep your eyes out. These areas can be dangerous, and they will grow more so at night. I think we should try to find some place soon that we can rest.
The sun continues to fall in the sky. There are many Well done. Nice smack of a mosquito there. Many bugs, gnats, mosquitoes in the fens as you move through. Occasionally a horse will stumble, but to this point, Shalelu continues to guide you on a pretty good course. As the sun begins to fall, Shalelu says, "We should find someplace soon."
I agree.
I,
I still agree.
as soon as you find us a place.
If we have relatively solid ground, I can cast my tiny hut for the evening.
What if we slept in the water in the tiny hut?
It would be very mushy inside.
No mush.
That makes sense.
I mean, there would still be comfortable temperatures and keep us safe, but
But no mush.
wet, mushy.
No mush. So you continue to pick your way, and actually what you see on the screen here is accurate. You see Shalelu guide you. She seems to find there are bits of wood and stone that are just barely submerged beneath the water, as though people have created paths through these fens, perhaps one time inhabited in some sort of way. The horse's feet clop. Occasionally one will pop through, but not far. It's not too dangerous, and she leads you across this path.
Right.
The horses are clearly skittish, though, as you're moving along. And eventually, you do come to a place where you see a bit of high ground. There is some solid ground ahead of you. And Shalelu says, "There, we should be able to rest for the night there."
All right.
Kind of popping up through the water.
All right. As we come into the area, I take the little crystal bead out of my pouch that I used to create my tiny hut, and I roll it around in my hands, creating the giant sphere. And I will it to match the surrounding area, so it's kind of, I guess, mossy and
Are you doing this once you're up on
once we're on the
Oh, so
solid.
can you go ahead and move
Yeah.
your figures up there? Okay.
And I'm creating it to match the surrounding environment. And it can hold 10 creatures, up to 10 creatures inside, so that's exactly enough for us and our horses to fit inside of this hut.
Right. Oh, wow, okay. So even a horse as large as Shadow
There's
Mist?
10 creatures.
10 creatures, no limitation on size?
Let me go to
Because you
the
are
online version.
5 and 5, yeah?
Let's see. So, create an unmoving opaque sphere of force of any color you desire around half the sphere projects. So it's 10 medium creatures, or a combination of the.
Yeah, so your horses would all be considered large creatures. So you could get 5 people and, 2 horses in there. Or 5 people and Shadow Mist in there.
Well, I mean,
Arr.
I would rather not leave them completely. But I mean, we can see through the hut, so if something goes wrong, and
We're right here.
we can pass in and out of it without, as long as I don't leave. So, yeah, I think if we just tie them right beside the hut, it should be fine. Of course.
And we can keep watch, so.
And Shadow Mist can help guard the other horses because he's very brave. And
So you leave all 5 horses out, is that the plan?
that's, I think.
Yeah, so this ground is just large enough. It's a bit crowded, but you're able to pull all 5 horses atop it. You then step inside. It's, she said, almost camouflaged. It looks as though it blends with the surroundings.
So, without leaving, I'm just going to reach a hand out so that I can touch Shadow Mist on the snout right here, and say, "Okay, buddy, you got to be brave. Watch over all of the other horses, please, for the night. I know you can do this. You are the best horse."
You see he turns, he nuzzles you. There's a sentience in his eyes. He sort of lifts himself up proudly, and the look he gives the other horses is clearly disdainful.
That's why I rely on you.
Who wants the first watch?
We need to watch in the tiny hut.
Well, I mean,
For the horses.
That would be
And just in case,
I'll take first watch.
okay. And I can take second.
I'll take third.
And I'll take some rum.
So I will sleep now.
Sounds about right.
All right. So who was taking first watch?
Me.
All right. And you might want to move your mic to the middle of your, like maybe just clip it on your hoodie there, right where it comes across. You've got a good spot there for that. So, oh, hey, N Peacock 85, thank you very much for the sub, sir. Oh, we got Alberon gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Alberon RPG, a fellow old school gamer. We really appreciate him.
Wow,
He is a fan of ours, and we are a fan of his. So thank you so much for giving those subs, and we will enjoy the cascade of new subs. Oh, and always good to get one. Krabby Patty, didn't even know you were on today. Good to see you, sir. Zarafan on and on. One of our favorite old school Greyhawk guys, all by virtue of Alberon RPG. And we're going to ask a quick. Oh, Bart in the North. Hey, good to see you, sir. Didn't even know you were on as well. We got some silent lurkers on today. And so we always ask this question, and it'll be the last time that we're going to ask the question today on stream. But if you are watching and you haven't subbed or done what Alberon just did and all 5 of the he gave us, we have one question for you. What are you doing? Let's give a hand to Alberon, and we shall resume. So, as you lay up at night, Solomon, you see through the walls of the hut clearly, and your watch. Ixen, your watch passes uneventfully. You see, occasionally there are sort of mounds that come up in the water. You see some creatures, standard little alligator kind of comes up on the shore, but not large enough to threaten the horses, goes back into the water. Nothing else seems to bother.
Alright, I go and I wake up Irda.
Okay, Irda?
Put it.
You take your watch, Irda, and as you take your watch, Gandalf won't stop. Go ahead and roll perception check for me, please, Irda.
It's not terrible. That is 18.
18, okay. Hello, Lord Gasumba. Good to see you, sir. So don't adjust your monitors at home. If everything looks dark and blue, it's because it is nighttime. They're in a swamp. So, Irda, as you're watching, you maintain your alertness. You don't notice anything until you hear one of the horses whicker, and it catches your eye. As you look over, you see green mist that seems to be forming up around its leg.
I'm gonna smack everybody awake. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, bad stuff. Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
No.
What's going on?
There's some. It's the green stuff. It's going into shape. I have a feeling this is similar to what happened at the Misgivings out in the ruins area.
As she said this, you hear one of the horses scream.
No!
It whinnies in the night. You see Shadow Mist. He's clomping, and as you look up, you see 2 creatures that look like this, floating up from the mist of the swamp. The horses begin to scream. They're pulling at the ropes that you have staked into the ground. As Shadow Mist, he rears up. You see his paws are just going through the creatures.
Calm emotions.
Okay, and let's roll initiative. DM's favorite thing to say.
Good.
So yeah.
And as you're getting ready to roll initiative, DM has a 2 with his group.
I got a 2.
All right, so roll again. We tied.
5.
All right, you have it.
That's right.
So you see there are, in fact, let me get this center properly. Let's bring it a little bit closer to get a better sense of the battle here. Just a bit of DM adjustment. Hopefully that doesn't fall.
Did my calm emotions work on the horses?
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. You see the horses, and again, this island is really small. It's the mush fens are all around.
Right.
And you see these two creatures that have risen up. The horses, in fact, do seem to calm, except for Shadow Mist. He's still desperately, almost as though trying to fulfill your requests. His hooves are striking through midair. As he does so, you see he cries out as one of the creatures rakes a ghastly hand through his body. He shivers. And we go to you, Solomon. You're inside the hut. You see this all happening outside.
I grab my sword and I run out at the one that's attacking.
Shadow Mist?
Yes.
Okay. So you move to this one. This is the one that's attacking Shadow Mist here. So for the benefit of our viewers, we have, make sure I don't shoot myself in the eyes with this. So we have Solomon battling this white that has appeared before Irda's horse. Go ahead and roll to hit.
31 for the first one.
Okay, yes, you feel your blade, even though this creature looks ethereal, your blade, its jagged edge does catch inside, and you feel it's severing something inside the creature. Roll damage.
For the first one, that is 9, 16, 17 points of damage.
Okay.
And then for the second one, I'm going to use Precise Strike. And that's a 31 again.
That hits again. Roll damage.
That was... Can I get my D6?
Oh, sorry.
So that is 14, 15, 18 points.
18 points of damage. All right, so a total of 35 between two attacks. You swing twice. Your blade glows. You've seen it do this before. It glows as it strikes the creatures, and it pierces through, but the mist dispels momentarily and then recoalesces again. The creature turns and it shrieks at you. You feel a chill through your bones. Irda.
Alright, so what I'm going to do, since I'm very not happy that this thing is trying to kill my horse, I'm going to run over to the one that's attacking, and the hut fades immediately when I pass through the edge of it. I'm going to use a Cure Serious Wounds against the white.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. And I will roll, what's the DC?
It's a 17 will save.
17 will save, okay. It fails, roll damage.
Okay, it's 3d8 plus 1 per level. So that is a 16 plus 8 is a 24.
All right, you feel arcane energy arc through your hand. There's a tremendous power that comes from your hand. As it does so, you see the creature, it kind of shrinks back. Again, you see the mist coalesces, disperses in puffs of green smoke, and then snaps back together.
Can Shadow Mist attack this round as well with me?
Shadow Mist can.
Okay, so I'm going to let him do his bite and hoof attacks then.
Okay.
Let's see. Sir, he has 1 attack, right? Oh, wait, no, 3 attacks. 1 bite, 2 hooves. I'm gonna do the bite first.
Okay.
So that one probably misses. It was a 9.
Okay.
And then the hooves. Whoops. That one's gone forever for right now. That's a 24.
So you see
a hoof one.
as Shadow Mist rears up, he puts a hoof straight to where the creature's head is at, and it passes through without effect.
And then the other hoof was the 9.
So again, you see as he's doing this, he's quote unquote hitting. You see his bite, you see his hooves are striking, but they do nothing. They pass through the creature as though it's not even there.
Okay.
Ixon.
I'm gonna throw a shock bomb blast. And that'll be a 22.
Okay, are you doing it the same one or the other one?
The same one.
Okay, that hits. You see the flask, it blows up right at the base of the creature.
Okay. And that is 16 plus 5. 21 points of damage.
Okay, you see the electricity, it coruscates up the sides of the creature. Again, the green mist seems to be dispersed momentarily. The creature grows dim for a second, and when it recoalesces, it looks somehow weaker. Cade.
Alright, drink some of me Parisian rum.
Cade pulls out a flask, or pulls out his Parisian rum. He takes a quick quaff. We'll call that so you have a full attack, because you're really close here, so there's no travel.
And I use a panache.
To do what?
Oh, I have extra panache. Okay, it's precise strike.
All right, so you leap forward at the creature.
With
Same
an
one?
advantage.
Same one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you engage the same creature. Roll to hit.
29. 31.
31, that hits.
Oh, huzzah. And I get another one, right?
Right, roll your second attack and then roll damage.
Ooh, I get double
You
damage. All right, I'll use another.
Thrust your blade. No, wait, actually, hold on, let me back up. You have a magical blade, right? Mm-hmm. Your blade is remind me again, what is it?
It's another returning dagger.
It was a, no, she's using, she's got
I
a
get the
curious, like a
cutlass.
+1 cutlass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you hit,
Cutlass.
you feel it bites into the same thing, it bites into the green smoke. Roll your second attack.
Oh, huzzah!
All right, roll damage on both.
Okay, so on the first one, I add my... Ooh, yes. And on the first one, then I double the damage on the next. So...
18.
What? 6 plus
20.
14, 18.
20?
Plus...
20.
6
20.
plus 14, 20?
Okay,
Yes.
20, all right. And your second attack?
Oh no, that was two of them.
Oh, that was both of them. Total of 20?
Yeah.
Well, don't... Yeah, but isn't there plus... Plus I get... Plus 3...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Plus the double damage. So that was on each. So
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
26.
26. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right. You strike your cutlass through twice. You see the same thing. The creature seems to be getting diminished. It lets out a howl. It screams in rage at what you're doing to it. And it's still there. This one floats up and lands right in the midst of the three of you as it momentum.
I'm over here.
Oh, that's right. As its momentum carries through.
Where? Ish.
Okay. It attacks, and we're going to do first of all the weakened one. It moves its attention away from Shadow Mist, and it focuses on Irda. Irda, you see two ghastly claws.
Bring it on.
They press through your body. The first one, you duck out of the way. You feel a chill cross your head as it moves just past you. The second one, it comes across. You feel it hits, strikes you right in the chest. You feel the claw pass through your body. As it does so, you take 18 points of damage, and I need you to make a will save DC 18.
Okay. I'm gonna roll advantage on this. That's a 25.
Okay, all right. So you feel a bit of fright that passes through you, but then vanishes as you steel yourself against the attack.
Did it break my skin at all, or is it just a okay?
Nope. You see no break in your
Okay.
skin. Whatever it did, it just sort of just passed through your body, did
All right.
some other sort of damage. The creature that leaps through it strikes Ixen. Ixen, the first blow, you feel the same thing. These claws, as you see here, long, probably 15-inch fingers that dangle off as it rakes through. Both of them hit you. You feel the cold chill your body. You take 17 points from the first one. You take 12 points from the second. I need you to make 2 will saves, DC 18.
All right, first one I made, then the second one I'm gonna roll at advantage. I got both.
You made both saves?
Wait, DC 18?
18, yes.
No, I missed the second one.
You missed the second one?
Yeah.
All right. Ixon, you are overwhelmed with fear. You see Ixon turns and he sprints and leaps off the side, splashing into the mush fens, and starts running through the mush fens.
Okay.
Initiative.
Gracious.
Wait, did you do your song?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, initiative. DM has a 5.
I have a 5.
Oh, so we roll again. And don't you just love the important sort of portent of these group initiatives upon which so much hinges on a single roll? DM, the 6. Sorry, didn't mean to celebrate. It's not DM against players. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun to watch the players struggle sometimes. All right, so the creature that sits atop, it's already weakened. It looks at Irda again. It swings. And remind me again, I had your armor class at a 20.
29.
That's okay, that's what I thought. Yes, so both of them, you quickly dodge, and when you do hold up, the second one, you kind of smack it back with your blade, and you're actually able to, even though your blade is physical and this thing is ethereal, you just sort of push it away. It does not strike. The second one leaps at Cade.
I swatch initiative.
All right, we'll talk about that after, right? We've already run initiative, so.
Dang it.
Oh.
Put it to cap. Jerk.
Uh-oh.
Who is this on?
You.
Me?
This white. You see this white
Riposte at parry!
suddenly.
Riposte at parry!
I have a question.
Opportune!
Yes.
Did our elven friend attack the last
Oh,
round?
Shalelu, yes, I'm sorry. So she actually was. She pulled out a bow, and she is going to fire arrows. this
Opportune
round.
parry and riposte!
Okay. So roll. You can do that one time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so roll.
What do I roll? And now
Roll
I'm
a
nervous.
d20.
Oh,
Roll
gosh.
d20 total attack. How many advantages do you have?
A lot.
No, you.
Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming.
By the way, advantage is the only 5e element I have in my campaigns. This is not a 5e campaign. It's 3.5 with some 1e, 2e, but we do like advantage. I think it's a fun element of 5e.
Oh.
Okay, total is.
Oh, I was on my run.
Okay.
So 18.
All right.
Plus our swatch initiative. I don't know. Is that on initiative rolls?
So as the creature comes forward, it's moving with rapid speed. One claw comes across. You take your cutlass, you block it. The other one, you see it wraps around Cade's neck.
Oh no. What? I lost?
Uh-oh.
Really? I lost my opportune parry and riposte?
No, you parried and riposted one attack, not the second attack. You see Cade as the monstrous, sort of odd spirit creature with malevolent eyes leaps toward him. It wraps around his neck. You see the claws, they actually fix in the neck instead of passing through. You see blood fountains, and the creature yanks Cade off the side of the fen.
I'm done for.
He splashes into the water. It fountains up. You see the creature starts to move beneath it, and we're going to stop there for tonight.
Well, this is highly uncool. I just got my ship.
Just got my ship. Oh my goodness, Kate! Unfortunate rolls.
No,
there
you
at
know
the
what?
end.
I buried and reposted.
You'll have to tune in next week to say if Kay died. Yeah, so your parry and riposte is for one attack. The creature hit on 2 attacks. The second attack was a critical. Your natural parry and riposte would be against the first. You wouldn't choose, well, I'm going to parry the second attack as a critical and a reflexive action. You actually should have told me that beforehand. But I gave that to you. But the critical, which I rolled, was quite a... So we use here, and I've mentioned this before, we use Cade is engaged, those facial expressions, no doubt. Life and death for Cade next week. So,
I hurt my back last night.
The faces that it paused at.
what'd you get there?
I had my Twitch, it paused itself.
Oh, it paused. Let me see the
everyone's
faces. Yeah, we have to post that on Instagram this week. That's great. So I use not only, so you do crits, and I do crits the 3.5 way, which is you roll either a 19 or a 20. A 20 is normally a crit, or if you have improved critical, a 19 can have a threat range for the crit, and then you have to confirm that crit. Solomon, your hair is in my camera. Thank you, sir. You confirm that crit with a second hit. If you do that, those 2 things, then I consult on the percentile dice. This is as old school as it gets. These well, no, it's not, but it's pretty darn old school. It's Middle Earth role-playing. Iron Crown Enterprises, they actually, it's funny, I didn't realize this. I mentioned the Dragon magazines earlier. Iron Crown Enterprises advertised in a bunch of these Dragon magazines back in the 80s because it was a really cool Middle Earth role-playing game, and I loved their crit tables. It was an unfortunate crit, and so you'll
Captain
have to...
Redbeard is on my side.
If Cade dies, we riot. So you're going to have to tune in next week to see whether or not Captain Cade Cardinal... do you have a backup PC, by the way? I really recommend all players should have
I
backup.
bring Cade back from the dead. That's my backup.
And Solomon, really, if you would keep your fine hair, your fine head of hair out of my camera. Look, I think that's going to be, and I'll just mention, it's going to be very, very important, both as we go through our Greyhawk campaign, and when we do, now it's going to be 2021 when I launch Riven Realm. I like very dangerous campaigns. I like it where death is a constant risk, and so it's always good to have a backup PC.
Oh, I have a grapple!
So let's go ahead and do our vote for Stream MVP. And as you vote for Stream MVP, I don't have the bot set up here. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that next time because you ran that for me last time.
I did the giveaway.
You did the giveaway? Okay, well, hang on. Let me see. Nightbot. Well, we'll just do this the old-fashioned way. So we're going to have you put in your chat here who you want to vote for Stream MVP. And we have Irda is number 1. And Irda, tell us why you should be Stream MVP.
Well, my sonic burst that chased off that sea creature, I would say is my number 1 reason I should be MVP today.
I even vote for that. Saved me shit, but now I'm dying, so...
Who will you give your ship to? Will Sully take it, or?
I don't know.
So that was...
We're not thinking about that.
That was epic. The roles that were involved there were pretty significant. So the use of a sonic blast into the water, that was a very clever way to disrupt a creature that you cannot get to physically. All you can see is the peripheral tentacles. That was excellently done. All right, let's go to you, Solomon, number 2.
I cut off one of the tentacles. Not as impressive as scaring the whole monster away, but I helped. I contributed.
You had
You did.
You had some good role-play moments today too, as well. So never forget that. Like, combat is important, but decision-making, role-play, things that influence the direction of the party, those are things which I love to have mentioned as part of why you're Stream MVP as well. So if it's Irda, it's number 1. If it's Solomon, it's number 2. If it's Ixen, why would they vote for you, Ixen?
I was able to successfully burn off a tentacle and a part of Cade's ship.
Well, that does not deserve MVP.
And I'm currently running away into a fishy swamp with big fish, so the extra XP could help.
All right, and Cade, assuming it matters, why should you be?
You better not kill me. That's all I gotta say.
I'm not telling you or anybody else.
I'll burn this whole thing to the ground.
That's exactly what Pat 66 said. He'll burn it down to the water line. Don't ask me this week. Don't ask me during the week. You will wait till next Sunday, like everybody else, to see what exactly happens here. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Because I always deserve it. That's why.
Wow. Okay. All right. So your vote,
But
Irda.
I do appreciate Irda's.
Everybody,
solid
hold up your
boom.
votes. Oh, Irda 1, Solomon 2, Ixen 3, Cade 4. We already have one for Irda. Keep those votes coming in. We got
I'll vote
one.
for-
Redbeard, of course, for Cade.
That's
Well
right.
done,
A vote
sir.
for Cade
And it was
is a
well
vote for,
deserved. The DM doesn't get a number because the DM cannot win. This gives XP to players. So right now it's still 500 XP
I
that they
appreciate
get
Redbeard.
per Stream MVP. As they level up, that'll get higher. They'll get 1,000 XP every time they get Stream MVP. All right, so we have a vote. Pat 66, 3 this time. So well done, Pat 66. Thank you. D&D player 888 gives it to Irda.
No. The DM doesn't need to level up. He's probably killed me.
All right. Let the DM level
Who
up.
are
Sorry.
you, Ethan Even
DM
Games?
doesn't, sorry. Maybe we'll do that sometime.
No.
No, we're never going to do that. All right, so we've got
Don't you have a
1,
disadvantage?
2, 3. I have so many advantages to use against you guys. It's not even funny. You don't want to get into the next combat. It's going to be tough. 1, 2, 3 for Cade, or pardon me, for Irda. 1
And
for
4.
Ixen. 4 now, okay, and then, all right, so we'll give it another second, but right now, Irda stands in the lead. Irda going once, Irda going twice, Irda closed. Irda Stream MVP and 4 for Irda. It's actually the wrong way. It'd be 1, but yeah, that's right. So Irda is our Stream MVP today, and we're going to go ahead and give a raid. We'd ask you to stay with us and join one of our other friends, partners, those that we collaborate with here. A very action-packed session today. We went from Sandpoint and the statue. If you didn't see this earlier, let me bring this back up. We showed the memorial statue, the monument that was provided for our party,
Huzzah!
which
Memorial
has
until we're dead.
the heroes of
Yeah,
Sandpoint.
not a memorial.
Oh, Solomon's
Honorarium.
Look, I think that's a good comment, 888. So D&D player 888 said that Solomon, you had the vote for your role play, but the Sonic Blast, that was an epic choice that was used there. And so
Well played.
we are super. So this was the beginning of the session. Then they moved through lots of role play in Sandpoint. They recovered. If Cade dies, they break the statue off and put it elsewhere. Maybe, or maybe he gets his own memorial statue.
Oh, I come back
unique
as
to
a ghost,
Cade.
haunt you all and burn you all. That's what I'm coming back
Across the ocean, huge storm, something came up out of the sea, the Sonic Blast, then landing in the mush fens, traveling through the mush fens, and then facing whatever these strange creatures are. It was a phenomenally, the dog trick got Ix in the vote. That was actually, it could have worked in different situations. I actually liked it. If there's a way I could have made it make sense, I would have given it. All right, so let me tell you who we're going to raid today. We are going to raid, let's see here. We're going to raid our friends at Dice of the Beholder. They've been pretty good folks, and they've got a few on their stream now. So if you want to stay on and give them a little love, and don't miss June 6th, the inaugural one-shot with Lord Gasumba. And we're going to have announcements of that on our Instagram channel. We'll put it on Twitch as well. And then June 9th, the brand new campaign kicks off. Tune in this week. You'll see Lore Masters Arcanum and maybe a special stream. And then be right back here next Sunday at 1:30 to see if Cade is alive
pray
or
for
dead.
me.
And yeah, hey, Lord Gazamba, it will be a blast. It was a cool dog trick, but he didn't get it. We raid in 3, 2, 1, and
Message a DM and tell him not to kill Kay. He listens
we'll
to
see
the
you
people.
soon. If you haven't followed Blue Box, we got one question for you. What are you doing? Blue Box out.